On February 10th, 2007, sports history was made. Seizing the spotlight, EliteXC ushered in a new era of mixed martial arts.
Oh, an efficient right hand!
Now, the extreme combat sports movement continues on its largest American stage ever.
What a battle here!
As the historic Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum hosts its first MMA event.
Guerrera is being rocked by Silva, and it is over!
Tonight, history will once again be made, with EliteXC leading the charge. We're here in Los Angeles, California, the city of angels and home to Hollywood heavyweights of all persuasions. Tonight, this city of stars will play host to a constellation of talented fighting supernovas. In fact, some heavyweights, welterweights, and lightweights. It's a mixed martial arts showcase here on Showtime. Welcome to the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, home to 2 Olympiads and countless world-class athletes. This historic venue is the perfect locale to welcome international contingent MMA combatants, and of course tonight, a big, big night of mixed martial arts fights. It's guaranteed to be a night of entertainment and action, beauties and the beasts, if you will, as the spotlight shines once again on the world of mixed martial arts. Tonight, Showtime and EliteXC present 2 featured bouts in a battle of 170-pounders. It's American Jake Shields against Israel's Ido Pariente. 2 behemoths. Tim Percy faces off with Jonathan Weizork. And we'll have bonus coverage of a bout that took place earlier tonight in the lightweight division. JZ Calvin Canty versus Nam Fan. Yo, 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 and away we go. Welcome back, everyone. Mauro Ranallo coming to you from Los Angeles, California. Welcome to the second EliteXC event here on Showtime. And tonight, the action takes place in a ring instead of a cage. Bill Goldberg, tonight should be an awesome night of fights. We've got Tim Percy and, of course, Jonathan Weizork going at it. I know you always like to see the big boys fight.
You know something about me, being a fat guy, likes to see the fat guys go at it, but these aren't fat guys. They're both 10-1. They're both very, very vicious guys in the ring, except for the fact that one is a pure wrestler, one is a pure stand-up guy. So, you know, we're going to see some different action tonight.
Also joining us, Jay Glazer, a mixed martial artist in your own right, recently training once again. Jay, we've got one of the top 10 fighters in his weight class, Jake Shields, going up against the really unproven Ido Pariente.
Jake Shields, as you said, top 10, probably one of the top 4, 5, 6 welterweights in the world. Started his career training under the legendary Chuck Liddell. Chuck said to me, this guy is one of the most vicious vegetarians you'll ever see in your life. When he gets in this ring, well, he smells blood. What we want to see tonight is Jake Shields come out, very exciting, throw those hands, elevate his game, and if he does, well, instead of talking 4, 5, 6 welterweight, maybe 1, 2, 3 in the world.
All right, it's a beautiful night for mixed martial arts action here in Southern California, the wonderful edifice, the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. Bill, a huge crowd on hand, getting ready for mixed martial arts. The explosion of this sport has been amazing.
Let's see, 74 years the LA Coliseum has been up. Never once in that 74 years has there been an MMA match until tonight.
All right, we are here at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum getting set for the first fight of the night. Heavyweight set to battle as Tim Percy takes on Jonathan Weizork. Let's take a look at Jonathan Weizork. Like many MMA fighters, not only is he skilled in combat, he's also accomplished in the academic classroom with 2 degrees, including his master's. Tonight, he goes for his PhD in MMA. I want to do this at the table.
Jonathan Weizork, heavyweight, Springfield, Illinois. I like the competition. In order to be competitive, you got to train yourself. I don't really have a camp, but it's whoever I can drag off the street. Most of the training is actual cardio and strength and stuff like that, so I got to push myself, past the point where I would like to go, and so far I've had pretty good results. I've won by TKOs, I've won by submissions. I like to get the guy down, and I like to end it as quickly as possible. Whatever I see open, I try to capitalize on it. If I go out and I'm really aggressive, then we'll just see what happens.
Again, looking at the ocean of humanity on hand here at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, where we are set for our first bout of the night as we get set for Jonathan Weizork and Tim Percy. And again, you follow this sport a long time, Jay. It's interesting to see that it's taken off the way it has. Right. After all the negative press the sport's received, it's about time we get some good stuff like this.
Isn't it really incredible? Bill talked before. This is the same stage where we had John Riggins, same stage where we had Marcus Allen, Johnny Morton, who's fighting later tonight, and now it all comes here to Southern California. 2 years ago, this wouldn't have been the case.
Let's go to our ring announcer, Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his way to the ring from Springfield, Illinois, Jonathan Weizork.
Here he is, a highly educated Jonathan Weizork. We talked about him having a master's degree and a bachelor of science degree, also a devout family man, and Jay, a real interesting story surrounding his appearance here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. It's his first time his mothers were going to come here, see him fight. He got married a year ago. His mom is here in the crowd tonight. The honeymoon is next week. We asked him 2 days ago, which are you more nervous about, tonight's fight or the actual honeymooning and the wedding after it? He said, hey, my in-laws are just afraid that I'm going to come up and my pictures I'm going to be all busted up in.
Yeah, definitely. His mom been serving overseas in the U.S. Air Force. She is here tonight to see Jonathan Weizork's EliteXC debut. This guy was a state champion wrestler in high school. Not only is he a brain, Bill, a three-letter sportsman in high school with wrestling, football, and tennis. He is a complete package.
All around. And, with the 2 degrees, it really dispels the belief that fighters are just dumb jocks.
Definitely, and he is tough as nails in his lone fight for the UFC. He fought Wade Shipp, and leading up to the battle, Weizork cracked his L4 vertebrae, and it split into 2 pieces. Now, even knowing this, Weizork continued on, took the fight, and guess what, Jay? This guy won. He's tough.
Not only did he win this, a couple of years ago also, his second fight, he beat Dan the Beast Severn, a legend in the world of mixed martial arts. So most guys tonight who are the younger guys who aren't as experienced, could get overwhelmed by the crowd here. I don't think that's going to happen with him.
What are the keys to Jonathan Weizork winning this fight?
Number one, you talked about his wrestling game. He's got to use wrestling to do what? The second phase, which is slow down the pace. Don't let Big Perm come out and just start banging away. And finally, he talks about his intelligence, that he sees things that other fighters don't see. Well, he better see those right and lefts coming and then use something for his transition game to keep Big Perm off balance.
His opponent, Tim Big Perm Percy. Now, with his 12 fights all ending before the final bell, Percy doesn't like to leave things up to the judges. He prefers to be his own judge, jury, and executioner.
Tim Big Perm Percy, heavyweight, Irvine. So my ultimate goal is to become a champion and be recognized as a top fighter in the world. I do feel that I am on the rise to my goal. I've been training Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu, boxing, pretty well-rounded in all of them. Go in there, put him out in the first round.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, his opponent from Irvine, California, Tim Big Perm Percy.
Bill, Tim Big Perm Percy's knocked out his last 3 opponents, including Bo Cantrell on the very first fight of the debut fight card of EliteXC, which, by the way, can be streamed live at ProElite.com. That took place in February at South Haven, Mississippi. This guy's got plenty of power, but he's also can be a danger on the ground.
He's got a lot of power, and one thing I can tell you in the fighter interviews, this is one of the nicest guys that you can ever meet in your life. But that being said, the first thing he's got to do is go out there and find his nasty side early. He's got to go out and do his business.
As you take us through the keys, you're right. Go through the rest of them there, Bill.
Got to find his nasty side early. There's no question. He's also got to utilize his wrestling skills. Weezork is definitely going to want to take him down, try to submit him, and he's got to finish early.
You know, Billy just talks about his nasty side, and we're talking about what a nice guy he is. He admits it too. He said, I go in there, I've got to get that little kid thing out of me. I'm like this big little kid, and I've got to find a nasty streak early. All my buddies, they try and bust on me to get me angry early. Well, I've got to figure out a way to get this anger earlier in the fight.
His athletic career started early, playing football, wrestling, and participating on the track and field team in high school before he went on to wrestle at Lassen College in Northern California with another MMA standout. And congratulations, by the way, to Quinton Rampage Jackson, the new UFC light heavyweight champ.
And it's funny, we talked about him finding his anger. He's talked to Quinton about that. Quinton has talked to him about, now that you're stepping up on a bigger stage with EliteXC, how you handle the added pressure, the added expectations, and really walking into the ring and to add to your game.
One more thing about Big Perm, he has never been to a decision. Let's now take you to the tail of the tape for this heavyweight matchup here on EliteXC on Showtime. Tim Percy is 28, 6 feet tall, 265 pounds with a wrestling and striking background. His opponent, Jonathan Weezork, is 28, 6'3", 265 pounds with a wrestling base. Now let's take you through the rules of EliteXC. 3 judges score the fight based equally on striking, grappling, effective aggression, and ring control. There's a 10-point must system. No elbows or forearms to the head, no knees to the head of a downed opponent, and the referee or doctor can stop the fight. Let's take you now to ring announcer Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you and welcome to the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum in Los Angeles, California, as we have a big night of mixed martial arts coming your way as SoftBank presents Dynamite USA in association with Pro Elite. Well, fans, for this heavyweight attraction coming your way, we present our judges. Scoring from ringside, from California, Dr. Nelson Hamilton. Also from California, Cecil Peoples and Marcos Rosales. Presenting to you at this time, our third man in the ring, our referee in charge, Herb Dean. All right, fans, here we go. Heavyweights in the ring. We're scheduled 3 5-minute rounds. Introducing to you first on my right, fighting out of the blue corner, standing 6 feet 3 inches. He weighed in at 265 pounds. Raised in the discipline of submission wrestling, his record stands at 10 wins, only 1 defeat, with 2 knockouts and 8 submissions to his credit. Hailing from Springfield, Illinois, introducing the dangerous Jonathan Weezork. And his opponent across the ring on my left, fighting out of the red corner. Standing 6 feet even, he weighed in the same as his opponent, 265 pounds. Specializing in wrestling and striking, his record stands at 10 wins, 1 defeat, 1 no contest, with 8 big knockouts and 2 submissions to his credit. Hailing from Irvine, California, introducing Tim Big Perm Percy. Once again, a referee in charge is Herb Dean, and now to give instructions, 3 5-minute rounds scheduled.
All right, gentlemen, we've gone over your instructions in the back room. Protect yourself at all times. Follow my instructions at all times. Let's make this a nice, clean fight. Touch gloves, come on, ready to do this.
Interesting stat, Bill and Jay, that both these guys have 10-1 records, but Percy has 8 knockouts, 2 submissions to his credit, while Weezork has 2 knockouts, 8 submissions. So obviously we know where each is comfortable, and it's going to be interesting to see if Percy can impose his will, keep it standing, or if Weezork is going to take this to the ground and finish off Big Perm.
Classic old school stand-up versus ground game. We're going to see what happens here. Whoever can impose their will the greatest.
This fight is underway, 1 of 3 rounds. Referee Herb Dean overseeing the proceedings.
Again, we talked about Big Perm coming out and trying to get nasty early. And you're going to see Weezork. You're going to see Weezork use just his hands just to get inside, get that clinch, and try and move this to the ground.
You can see Weezork's Greco-Roman background there, just bull rushing Percy to the ropes, has him in the corner now.
But Percy is no slouch when it comes to wrestling. He has picked up 300-pound men and slammed them, much like his tutor, Quentin Rampage Jackson.
And he does train at No Limits Gym with Colin Oyama, former trainer of Quentin Rampage Jackson, who's trained the likes of Tito Ortiz, Jason Maya-Miller, and Razor Rub McCullough in the past. So Percy, again, looking to make a big splash like he did on the debut event of EliteXC. On the undercard as he knocked out Bo Cantrell, and here in the first minute, a bit of a stalemate along the ropes, guys.
But this is exactly what Weezork wants to do also, because you want to try and take this as long as you possibly can. You don't know how Percy's going to be if he has to go into the third round.
Work, guys.
Well, you know, he's already accomplished something. He's closed that distance without getting blasted by that right hand.
His work. And you always want, whenever you're going against a striker like Big Perm, you want to make sure you don't stay at the end of his punches. By staying inside like this, obviously you take that away.
Referee Herb Dean is mic'd tonight for the fans' pleasure, and you can hear him shout out the instructions to work. Definitely two big boys. Percy at 259. And Weezork, of course, tipping the scales at 250 pounds tonight.
And here we see a little bit of the difference between the cage and the ring ropes. These guys go through those ropes, and boys, I am scrambling. I got to tell you, that's a lot of beef heading this way.
You won't go out there and try and catch him?
No.
Come flying off the rope or anything like that with a big steel chair or nothing?
I'm retired, remember?
Fans beginning to show their displeasure with the stalemate along the ropes, and referee Herb Dean breaks them apart. Now, Jay, you've recently started training MMA again, and Weezork, a bit of an old-school fighter in that, you know, unlike most fighters today who align themselves with a camp, as Percy misses with that right hand. Weezork's a bit of a nomad, likes to train with a variety of different people, traveling all over the place. A bit of a
Ronin.
Yeah, a Ronin. Do you think that's a good thing nowadays, to be doing that, or should you align yourself with a team?
No, I think you absolutely should align yourself with a team, because he said to us, what I've been trying to do is just pick up sparring partners here and there, get guys in there. No, you got to be with the team, let your coaches bring in sparring partners, or if you have some very good other training partners, obviously that helps you out. Usually schools now, because MMA is so advanced, you'll have so many different types of fighters in your own camp that they can help you prepare.
And by the way, that $10 word I was looking for was peripatetic. That's what I was looking for.
Playing a lot of Scrabble lately.
Thank you very much. All right, Herb Dean once again now breaks the two fighters up.
Right there.
And he's
I think it was a groin shot, gentlemen. As painful as that may be, and hopefully we will not see the replay of that.
Looks like Tim Big Percy is ready to continue. He's going to take as much time as is necessary. Has up to 5 minutes to recover.
Correct.
Fight.
And you know, for a big guy, Jonathan Weezork, his cardio typically good, although he hasn't gone the distance, and he just got rocked by Tim Percy. And Percy now looks to drop a right-hand bomb. He's in the close guard of Weezork. But again, this is where Weezork has finished 8 fighters in the past.
Exactly, but again, I want to stress that Big Perm's jiu-jitsu, his ground game, his wrestling is not bad. I know we're talking about him being a striker, but he is well-versed. He's this new age of MMA fighter where you really
You could see Weezork was looking looking to go maybe for a Kimura. Now it's Percy again, just dropping bomb after bomb. And again, that's coming from a 265-pounder here, Bill.
You know, there's no question that he wants to get a little distance and drop down those bombs, but then again, that could give Weezork his arm.
And there's another right hand that finds its target. And Weezork, you could see the hip movement, Jay, trying to go for an armbar, maybe a triangle. But again, it's broken up by Percy just looking to hit that home run.
You know what I'm impressed with Weezork is a lot of big guys, they will just lay there and pray. They'll lay on the back, and you always have to get over on one of your hips.
He's going for the Kimura right now. Maneuvering
over. And what Big Perm has to do is try and get that hand down and hook his leg, and he's not able to do that right now.
Now a straight armbar here.
Big Perm's in trouble here, boys.
Got the key lock on him into the final minute, and this could be trouble. Oh, and the power of Percy backs up, and now with an uppercut finds its mark.
And what Big Perm did there is he stayed relaxed. A lot of guys will stiffen up, and that opens that arm up to get some real damage done. But Big Perm stayed relaxed.
Final minute of this heavyweight battle between Jonathan Weezork and Tim Big Perm Percy. A back-and-forth matchup, although Percy's been able to outstrike Weezork, but the big man, Weezork, on the bottom, has been definitely more active in the guard, and you could see that obviously Percy not very schooled in the ground in terms of what he wants to do, just sticking with the old-fashioned ground and pound.
Absolutely, because that's worked for him, and you know you can drop those hands, and that's what you absolutely have over Weezork. But I got to tell you, I'm impressed with Weezork's ability on the ground. Again, he's very active, usually against some big guys.
Nice takedown by Weezork, immediately into side control, although there, an open hand half guard by Percy. And Herb Dean now admonishing Weezork for those rabbit punches into the final 10 seconds of the opening round.
A couple things you can say about Weezork. You know, he's definitely old school. He's definitely got a high pain tolerance. But one thing that impressed me is his patience.
The beautiful sunshine of Southern California. Big crowd on hand here at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. Let's go into the corner.
Listening? Huh? You doing it right? Take your time. Give me the mouthpiece. Take a deep breath.
There's that knee strike south of the equator, you guys.
And there goes the, Yeah, this is what happened after that groin shot. I think Big Perm took offense to that and dropped old Weezork right down there, buddy.
But that was the only time the entire first round, Bill, where he was able to get off and extend his arm on one of those punches. Weezork did a great job.
And here you see Weezork now maneuvering for what was a Kimura attempt, but then just a straight armbar with a key lock here, Jay.
Yeah, but again, as you see it, Percy just kept himself relaxed, and Weezork eventually started to get desperate and gave up the position.
And of course, as we know, it's position before submission as round 2 gets underway.
Right. And I tell you what, guys, as this fight goes in, you've got to say it
favors
Weezork, absolutely.
Well, Percy has never been the distance, but again, the bad guard of Weezork just allows himself to be tattooed with that left and right and immediately goes for the body lock.
What it looks like to me, gentlemen.
There's another nice takedown by Weezork.
Percy is getting seriously frustrated with this guy.
Well, now he gives up his back.
Hit the back of the head.
And from the back mount, some ground and pound as you hear Herb Dean say, watch the shots to the back of the head. Percy just...
You gotta fight
Percy's gonna have to do something to turn around and defend himself there.
Just so that they don't stop the fight. He's going to have to...
He's doing absolutely
He's going to have to get out of
He
there.
has to intelligently defend himself. Referee Herb Dean telling him he's about to stop the fight. This fight is over. Jonathan Weezork wins his EliteXC debut with ground and pound from the back mount on Tim Big Perm Percy. And for the first time, Big Perm Percy is finished in a fight.
I got to tell you, man, I think that groin shot had a little bit to do with that. I don't think he fully recovered after that. I mean...
Hit back in the head. Tell me what happened out there. How you feeling? Okay? A little dizzy? Okay. See right there. No problem. We're going to watch it. Just look at my nose, okay? Where are you right now?
And again, we talked about Big Perm Percy not going the distance in any of his fights, and he is stopped in this one in the second round by a jubilant Jonathan lock and load Weezork, who locked, loaded, and fired from the back mount.
I would have to say this is his most impressive victory to date.
Tim Percy on his back, and of course safety is paramount here in mixed martial arts, and they're just making sure that he's all right, and that's the one good thing about MMA. The referee gave him all kinds of time, Bill, to defend himself intelligently. He was not going to allow those peppering shots to accumulate and cause any unnecessary damage, and this will allow Tim Big Perm Percy to fight another day.
Yeah, and if you watch, you know, Herb Dean was talking to Percy while he was down there, and Percy had the opportunity to voice, you know, at least that he was fine. He knew what was going on. All he had to do was defend himself and try to mount a little bit of offense, and he wouldn't have stopped the fight. So dejected and disappointed, Tim Big Perm Percy suffers his second loss, falling to 10-2 with 1 no contest. And there he is, the happy Jonathan Weezork, and his mom has got to be ecstatic here from serving overseas in the U.S. Air Force here tonight at the fights. And of course, what the happiest person has got to be his wife, because as you know, they've saved their wedding reception until next Saturday, and he has at least got no marks on his face. As we now go back to the end of this fight, the takedown by Weezork, the trip takedown. And Bill, take us through the rest of this action with the waist lock. Yeah, Weezork trips him, gets him down, gets his back, and, you know, it was over from there. He gets the hooks in, stretches him out, and, you know, you're pretty much seeing the end of the fight. Percy had absolutely no opportunity to mount any offense.
And referee Herb Dean in perfect position continued a conversation imploring Percy to defend himself. And Weezork, meanwhile, in workmanlike fashion, delivering the shots to the side of the head, accruing the points in the judge's favor, and, of course, forcing the referee to stop the fight as he wins via TKO. And there he is, a very joyous and happy man, Jonathan Wesork, who improves to 11-1.
And, you know, secondary to the fact that he won the fight, it looks like he's going to be fine for the photos of the wedding.
As we mentioned. And let's now go to ring announcer Jimmy Lennon Jr. to make it official.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time of 50 seconds in round number 2. Our referee in charge, Herb Dean, stops the contest due to strikes. He is the winner by way of technical knockout, Jonathan Wesork.
So here he is, the winner, Jonathan Wesork, and again, some of the crowd in attendance here at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, outdoors for mixed martial arts on Showtime. Panoramic shot of the ring here at the LA Memorial Coliseum, and our colleague Jay Glazer standing by with other mixed martial artists, some very interesting personalities in this interview.
All right, we're here with, first of all, Gina Carano, who is as beautiful as she is tough. You were supposed to be on tonight's card, came down with an illness in Thailand. How you feeling?
I'm feeling 100% right now, which pisses me off because I'd rather be fighting, but yeah, I just got a little sick, and I'm sorry to everybody that was looking forward to me fighting.
Last we saw you, you were unleashing a lot of those right hands, but you've also tried to change your game a little bit. Talk about that.
I'm actually now training at the Couture gym, Randy's gym in Vegas, and he's my role model, and they just kind of took me in, and I'm part of their team, and it's the most amazing feeling ever, and I just want to say thank you to him because he's amazing. He's awesome.
All right, somebody else on that card. Crazy Horse Bennett, last we saw you were doing backflips off a cage after an early knockout, explosive knockout, and you're going to be one of the headliners on our next card coming up. What kind of acrobatics are we going to see from you next time?
I might come up with something new. Depends on how I'm feeling that night. Depends on how my opponent makes me feel after knocking him out. I don't know. Y'all, you know, it's Crazy Horse, so you can always expect something crazy from Crazy Horse to just sell Crazy Horse.
So you and your opponent, I think it's Joe Boxer that night, correct? June 22nd. A little bad blood there. You guys have fought out tough already. What's going to be different next time?
What's going to be different is there ain't going to be no ifs, ands, or buts about who wins this fight. You know, he feels that he won the last one. I feel that no, you didn't. You couldn't finish the horse. So, you know, this one here, there's going to be no ifs, ands, or buts about who won the fight. I'm going to put him to sleep.
All right, Crazy Horse. And finally, the headliner of this card, the New York badass, Phil Baroni. He goes against Frank Shamrock. And, you know, it's always really tough to get a quote out of you. Don't really like to talk. Don't really like to brag about yourself. You know, I'm just going to give you the floor. How's that fight going to go?
Yo, it's going good. My training's going good. And June 22nd, Shamrock's going to get weighed, measured, and found lacking. Knocking his ass out June 22nd. I had to break camp for this bullshit because there was going to be some press conference. And he didn't show, you know. Man, he better show June 22nd. You better show, dude. I'll be in your backyard looking for you. I'm going to knock your ass out, dude. I'm going to punish you for 4.5 rounds and put you to bed. Tuck you in. Badass style. You're a punk, dude. Time running out. Get ready to get back to the seminar circuit, bitch.
Again, Phil Baroni, it's usually hard to get something out of him. And, you know, tonight, no exception. Phil, good luck to you guys. Back to you at ringside.
Here's an overhead look of the city of Los Angeles and some of the beautiful homes. Of course, a humble abode there. And of course, we're here at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, where tonight an action-packed evening of mixed martial arts is already underway. And again, a nice crowd on hand here as we get ready for more MMA excitement. We've got the beauties, we've got the beats. It's all about entertainment, the sporting spectacle that is EliteXC. A huge crowd on hand, and we are here looking ready to get set for the Ito Pariente Jake Shields matchup. And there is a look at Ito Pariente getting set to make his way to the ring. Tonight definitely has an international flavor, and Ito Pariente adds to that spicy mix.
Ito Pariente, welterweight, Tel Aviv, Israel. This is the moment I have been waiting for my whole life. To fight in such a big event with a guy who's gonna come in and bring it, and I know that I have to bring it too. I don't have a plan. You know, I train for boxing, for kicking, for kneeing, for going to the ground, putting submission, and I'm gonna let the fight just happen. Whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen, and I know it's gonna happen for me. Maybe your opponent is better, technical, but you have a strong mind, you're gonna beat him with your mind. What makes Ito Pariente a good MMA fighter? I won't quit. Never.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his way to the ring from Tel Aviv, Israel, Ito Pariente.
He's doing his thing, Here he is, a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu brown belt under Patrick Bitton and Flavio Behring. Has extensive training in Muay Thai kickboxing. In fact, he was the man who, founded the Israeli Federation of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And Bill, he makes his debut here in EliteXC tonight. What are the keys to victory for the Hebrew Hammer?
Israeli Jiu-Jitsu, I guess I'm going to have to take up another martial art. You know, the keys to victory for Ito, there's no question. Shields is a great grappler. He does not want to take it to the ground with Shields. So he's got to use some wonderful knees, use his Muay Thai strikes. If it does go to the ground, he's going to have to use his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu skills. Stay busy and do what he can do to submit Jake Shields.
He didn't fight much between 2002 and 2005 because he had to move back to Israel after living in the United States for a while, but Pariente is back, and so is Jake Shields. Again, a welterweight warrior who has done some pretty impressive things so far in his career. American Jake Shields is considered by many to be a top 10 fighter in his weight class. Tonight, he has the opportunity to show the world just how good he can be.
Jake Shields, welterweight, San Francisco, California. I've been known, a lot of my chokes. I was originally a ground guy. I got lots of rear naked and engaging chokes and hitting a lot. But I've been doing a lot of boxing now too, so I'm be getting known my boxing for too long. I would just like to, be able to be considered the best fighter in the world. I'm already getting up there. I just want to be considered number one and be the champ for a while, and in the sport I love. I love it all, man. Just finishing a guy anyway. Choking out's a great feeling. An arm bar, knocking him out. Just in any way is just the best feeling. Don't got much of a strategy. I'm just ready to hurt him. I trained hard for this fight, and I'm pumped up, looking for blood. Going out there to fight, kick his ass.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, his opponent from San Francisco, California, Jake Shields.
Go. Jake Shields started wrestling at the age of 9, has never looked back. He's an accomplished wrestler and submission grappler on nearly every level. What are his keys to victory tonight?
Well, you just said it. The number one key is using wrestling to do everything else he wants. You can use wrestling to set up ground and pound, set up strikes, set up submission, but make sure he knows, hey, I'm a wrestler first and foremost, and use it. Number 2, utilize his experience. He has a wealth of experience, certainly much more than Pariente. And then finally, take the fight deep where he wants it to go. Now, he's going to have to fight some demons in this, and what I mean by that is that he wants to start striking, wants to be a more exciting fighter, but don't go away from what you do best, and that's wrestling, taking it to the ground.
Well, Shields has been working on both his submission game and adding some solid striking skills. He teaches and trains at the fabled Fairtex Academy, and he used to work with the likes of the late Alex Gong. Has also spent some time at American Kickboxing Academy, in addition to training with the legendary Cesar Gracie.
And also Chuck Liddell, as we said, he started his career up there in San Luis Obispo.
All right, let's take you to the tail of the tape for this welterweight matchup here on EliteXC. Jake Shields is 28, 5'11", 170 pounds with a wrestling and jiu-jitsu background. Ito Pariente, 29, 5'8", 168 pounds. His style, jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai. Let's take you now to Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, SoftBank presents Dynamite USA in association with Pro Elite and our next special attraction in the MMA sport. Introducing to you our 3 judges scoring this bout from ringside. From Florida, Richard Bertrand. From California, Alejandro Rochin, and also from California, Marcos Rosales. Our third man to the ring, a referee in charge of this bout, is Steve Mazzagatti. All right, fans, here we go. Welterweights in the ring. We're scheduled 3 5-minute rounds. I introduce to you first on my right, fighting out of the blue corner, standing 5 feet 8 inches. He weighed in at 168 pounds. Trained in Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu. His record stands at 6 wins, 2 losses, with 3 knockouts and 1 submission to his credit. Hailing from Tel Aviv, Israel, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ito Pariente. And his opponent across the ring on my left. He is fighting out of the red corner, standing 5 feet 11 inches. He weighed in at an even 170 pounds. Joining us in the traditions of wrestling and jiu-jitsu, his record stands at 17 wins, 4 losses and 1 draw, with 2 knockouts and 5 submissions to his credit. Hailing from San Francisco, California, introducing Jake Shields. And once again, our third man in the ring is Steve Mazzagatti, now to give instructions. These are welterweights, 3 5-minute rounds.
All right, gentlemen, you know the rules. I want you to act like professionals. You need to obey my commands, protect yourself at all times. Hook them up, gentlemen. Good luck.
Looking at Ito Pariente, a very aggressive fighter, well-rounded, and as we mentioned, highly skilled in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but taking on a 2-time All-American wrestling star at Cuesta College who is looking to show his marked improvement in the stand-up, Jay.
Yeah, you know,
right,
again,
guys,
we talked about him and how exciting he is. He's a top, 4, 5, 6 welterweight in the world. He has to get those hands going and feet going, as you can see, and he's going to want to try and work that because he always knows he can go back to his wrestling.
Ladies and gentlemen, when this goes to the ground, do not go to the refrigerator.
Pariente now trying to stop the takedown of Shields.
You see how fast that is, that double leg that he shot in for right there. That's what happens when you start wrestling at the age of 9. You know, I told you guys earlier that Chuck Liddell said he's such a tough vegetarian. I said, what else is good about Jay Shields?
Beautiful guard pass here by Shields and right into full mount. Nicely done by Shields, making it look easy on Ito Pariente.
Oh, he did, didn't he?
Guys, as I was saying, Chuck was saying, you know what? When he started early on, he always stayed after, try to work, try to get extra work, try to have guys beat on him a little bit to try and advance his game.
And now it's Pariente desperately trying to buck his hips, explode his hips, but again, against a world-class wrestler, that's going to be next to impossible. Jake Shields very patient now. As you can see, Pariente trying to keep him close. But if Shields can create that distance like he's doing now, delivering some ground and pound, and the arm is there for the taking.
But he also, when he starts throwing those strikes, he has to do some more damage with those.
And you know what? A lot of people, especially my good friend El Guapo Basruna, espouses side mount instead of the full mount because you do have those other options, the knees to the body.
When you're in full mount, that's when you can get reversed very easily. When you're in side mount, you're not going to get reversed. Nobody's going to sweep you.
Hey, can a vegetarian smell blood, actually?
Well, he did say yesterday that he ate it, 4 or 5 times in his life.
And now he's got his back, looking to get his hooks in, raining in some right hands, and look at going for the arm here. Might want to pop out a Kimura, and now maybe going for the rear naked choke. It's been all Jake Shields in the first minute and change of this first round.
What Pariente needs to do is try and get his back to the mat.
And there he is slipping in as the Brazilians call the Mata-Leão, the rear naked choke. And Jay, what Pariente has to do is alleviate the pressure, turn away from it.
Turn away from it, not only that, but try and get your fingers on his fingers just to try and loosen up that grip a little bit.
Very patient, methodical, and he taps. It's over. Jake Shields wins via rear naked choke, making it look easy here in his EliteXC debut. And again, this guy has fought in Hawaii for Rumble on the Rock. In fact, won a tournament there, defeating the likes of Carlos Condit and Yushin Okami to capture the Rumble on the Rock 175-pound welterweight title in the early part of 2006.
Oh, Jake Shields is the real deal, guys, without a doubt. He's a guy who, as we know, he has some superior wrestling, and when he gets on the ground now, you see how aggressive he is. His transition on the ground from mount to behind and trying to go for the rear naked, try to go ground and pound, it's getting more and more aggressive. That's what will elevate him into the ranks of the welterweights.
Improves to 18-4-1, and Shields also holds wins over the likes of the estimable Hayato Maha Sakurai of Japan, beating him in Japan in December of 2002. So Jake Shields looking to make serious waves in MMA's welterweight division. For Ito Periente, obviously it's back to the drawing board, Bill, and I'm just wondering, what did they used to go back to before there was a drawing board? And there's the initial takedown that set up the demise of Ito, the Hebrew Hammer, Periente.
I'll tell you, Shields surely didn't want to stand up and show his new skills, because he went right for the takedown, and then it didn't take him long to get in the dominant position and figure out a way via the rear choke to get Periente out of here.
And obviously Shields using what got him to the dance, as he's looking to pass the guard there into side control, and here it is, the end. You see Periente trying to move, the hooks are in, and it's just moments away now. As you can see, Shields setting him up, about to cinch in the rear naked choke. There it is, the right arm with the grip, and Bill, it was just seconds away.
Yeah, Shields is just a master on the ground. I want to see another guy, 170 pounds, that has the skill that he does on the ground. Now, obviously, he's going to work on his stand-up, but as far as the ground's concerned, I want to see another guy.
So utilizing his strong wrestling skills, picking up his 6th win via submission.
NCAA Division I wrestler. Got his back.
Has the body triangle, which is even more difficult to escape, and like I say, moments away before he finishes him off with the rear naked choke.
Yeah, he was just looking for the opportune time to slip that arm in, get the wrist up underneath the neck, and finish it off.
Received a wrestling scholarship to San Francisco State in 2001. He's fought in Costa Rica for Bodog Fight. As we take a look again to the big crowd on hand here at the LA Memorial Coliseum, Jay Glazer standing by. But first, let's go to Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time of 2 minutes, 6 seconds in round number 1. A rear naked choke ends this contest as the fighter taps out. He is the winner by way of submission, Jake Shields.
Yeah, you don't look down. We play with the ref inside there. Huh? I got you. We got you. Standing by. Standing by.
Trying to keep it fast nowadays. That's the right question.
All right, here is Jake Shields. Very impressive. You told us the other day you wanted to come out like a lightning bolt. You wanted to come out very exciting. You certainly did that.
That's right, yeah. I'm trying to be exciting as I can. I want to finish everyone. I want to show the world that I'm number one, so.
What is, right now, everybody pretty much has you right in there, 4, 5, 6, 7 in the world of welterweights. What do you need to do to get up there 1, 2, 3?
Just fight the right guy and I'll beat him. As soon as I fight number one, I'll beat number one, because I'm going to keep winning.
In this fight, again, a very game, Ito Periente, but was there anything, it seemed like early on you tried to at least work on your stand-up a little bit and say, you know what, I'm taking this right where I know it works for me?
Yeah, I know my ground so good. I've been working my stand-up a lot, and I do want to, show it, but I figured I might as well take him down and put him away and end the fight in the first round, so.
All right, what do you want to see next for Jake Shields?
I would love to take the title here. I want some big fights. Hopefully they can bring me someone to give me a title shot.
All right, again, Jake Shields, congratulations. Jake Shields, everybody.
So impressive night of fights so far in front of an impressive crowd here at Los Angeles' Memorial Coliseum. As we now revisit the action so far tonight on Showtime, we saw Jake Shields just finish off Ito Periente. And earlier tonight, we saw Jonathan Weizork take care of Tim Big Perm Percy. Recently, ProElite.com held an EliteXC Ring Girl contest, and they announced the winner last week. Believe me, she's a fine-looking lady named Vanessa Wade. You can see her site at vanessa.proelite.com. You'll be glad you did, as we show her there. Vanessa Wade, the winner of the EliteXC Ring Girl contest. And there's a up-close and personal look of the newest beauty, member of the EliteXC team. Of course, it's all about the beauties and the beasts of mixed martial arts. Let's take a look at tonight's results. We took a look at Wieczorek defeating Percy by TKO in round 2. JZ Cavalcanti defeated Nam Phan by TKO at only 26 seconds of round 1. And then it was Jake Shields submitting Ito Pariente with a rear naked choke in round number 1. For Jay Glazer and Bill Goldberg, this is Mauro Ranallo. See you tonight on Showtime Pay-Per-View.
Gentlemen, as we are ready for our first bout of the evening, please welcome to the ring from Westminster, California, Nam Phan.
Stay here. Now, hold up.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, his opponent joining us to the red corner from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, Jay Calvin.
Okay, you ready? Let's walk.
Eu sou o neguinho com uma missão, correr atrás do meu e ter uma condição. Toda verdade na religião. E não importa se é macumba ou crente. O que importa é se faz bem pra gente. Esquecer de que lado eu venho da cidade. Que mesmo sem dinheiro é felicidade. Quem nasceu na rua e foi criado na rua nunca se esquece da vida na rua. Voltado até no chão. Uma conta de carro. Esquecer do meio tempo. Esquecer que eu já fiquei sem dinheiro. Esquecer da família e dos parceiros. Esquecer que eu já fui feliz sem dinheiro.
Hey, you want a man? Get the stuff off. Get the stuff off. Let's go. Get that now.
Got a cup in?
Let's take you now to the tail of the tape for this lightweight battle between Nam Phan and JZ Cavalcanti. Cavalcanti is 23, 5'8", 158 pounds with an all-around fighting style. Phan is 24, 5'6", 155 pounds with a background in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Thank you, guys.
A look at Nam Phan, who probably is best known for defeating highly touted Jason Maxwell in his professional MMA fight. Maxwell, well known for having knocked out UFC and Pride veteran Jens Pulver. Over his 12-3 professional career, Fan has never been finished, you guys. All 3 of his losses have come via decision, and against top fighters like Josh Thompson, Razor Rob McCullough, Nick Ardle. But JZ Cavalcanti is known for finishing his opponents, Jay. There's a reason he was the 2006 K1 Heroes lightweight champion.
JZ likes to come out fast, aggressive, very strong. It's interesting. You see him walk down the ring and how lighthearted he is. He clicks over when he's in the ring, but he told us 2 days ago, I don't realize I click over that much. My mom was watching the fight, my last fight, and said, what happens to you in the ring? You become a different human being. Well, I think you're going to see a different cat in there right now.
And there is a look at JZ Cavalcanti. Made the move to America and the American top team in 2003 to train under the tutelage of Ricardo Laborio. He has since advanced to the rank of purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. But again, this guy can do damage standing or on the ground. Let's take you now to ring announcer Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to you, and we welcome you to the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum as we have a big night of mixed martial arts coming away as SoftBank presents Dynamite USA in association with Pro Elite. Well, fans, at this time we present our lightweights attraction. Introducing to you our 3 judges in the ring. From Florida, Richard Bertrand. From California, Dr. Nelson Hamilton. And also from California, Alejandro Rochin. And presenting to you our referee in charge of this bout, Mauro Yamasaki. All right, fans, here we go. 3 5-minute rounds scheduled in the lightweight division. Introducing to you first on my right, fighting out of the blue corner, standing 5 feet 6 inches. He weighed in at 155 pounds. He's an all-around MMA fighter specializing in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. His record, 12 wins, 3 losses. 4 of his wins have come by way of knockouts and 4 submissions to his credit. Ladies and gentlemen, from Westminster, California, introducing Nam Phan. And his opponent across the ring on my left, fighting out of the red corner, standing 5 feet 8 inches. He weighed in at 158 pounds. He's an all-around mixed martial artist with a record of 11 wins, 1 defeat, 1 draw, with 3 wins coming by way of knockouts and 6 by submission. Originally from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome JZ Cavalcanti. Once again, our referee in charge, Mauro Yamasaki, now to give instructions. We're scheduled 3 5-minute rounds.
All right, I already talked to you guys in the locker room. You have any question for me? You have any question for me? Make sure you guys do a clean fight, okay? Follow my orders at all times. Good luck tonight. Touch gloves.
We are set for 3 5-minute rounds of action here at EliteXC's event. A lightweight bout between JZ Cavalcanti. His only loss almost 3 years ago, stepping up at the last minute to replace his ATT teammate Hermes Franca, and going the distance, losing a majority decision to the highly touted Hellboy, Joachim Hansen.
Welcome to a train wreck, gentlemen. Welcome to a train.
Immediately, Nam Phan tests the waters with a low kick. Of course, Nam Phan probably wants to take this fight to the ground, although he's going to be in tough regardless, and it's JZ Cavalcanti securing an early takedown.
Cavalcanti, what he likes is he likes to take to the ground for ground and pound. He's had submission, but you see this vicious ground and pound right there.
There it is, gentlemen.
Referee Mauro Yamasaki stopping the fight at just the 25-second mark.
Okay. Nam Phan is not protesting.
He went to sleep.
Yeah, he's still out, guys. He took too many shots. He took too many unopposed shots to the face.
Their corner, very incredulous at the transfer of events here. Unbelievable, but JZ Cavalcanti picks up his 12th win very, very easily here in the Southern California sunshine at the LA Memorial Coliseum. At just 26 seconds, referee Mario Yamasaki stops the fight due to the ground and pound of Jay-Z Calvin Canty. Obviously not an opportunity for Namfan to showcase much.
Oh, and again, what we said before, there are certain people in this sport who like to take you to the ground for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Others like Jay-Z who likes to take you to the ground so he could let those hands go. And that's exactly what he did to Namfan.
Jay-Z Calvin Canty unbeaten now in his last 11 fights, 10-0-1. Bill, take us through this replay of the overhead shot.
Well, there really isn't much to talk about. Nam went in, he grabbed him, and there's the belly-to-belly right there.
You know what he did, though, Bill? Nam went in for a jab. Usually a guy will slip to throw a punch. Instead, Jay-Z slipped to secure to secure a bear hug to pick up for a slam.
And as you said, Jay-Z doesn't want to stay there on the ground. He wants to get separation. He wants to get distance, and then he wants to ground and pound, and we saw it.
Well, Calvin Canty, who has trained Muay Thai kickboxing in Holland at the same gym as Melvin Manhoef, utilizing some Greco-Roman wrestling there with the slam and then some good old-fashioned ground and pound. He also trained with the late Carlson Gracie Jr. as a black belt in luta libre.
But I'll tell you what else I like about him. Look how he stands up to get those ground and pound. That means you get your hips involved in the punch, you could rotate, and it gets more power.
And let's make it official with Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time of 26 seconds in round number 1. A referee stops the contest. The winner by way of technical knockout, Jay-Z Calvin Canty. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the ring from Japan, Katsuhiko Nagata. And now, ladies and gentlemen, joining us from San Jose, California, introducing Isaiah Hill. Ladies and gentlemen, SoftBank presents Dynamite USA in association with Pro Elite and a lightweight attraction in the ring at this time. Scheduled 3 5-minute rounds. Judging at ringside, we have Richard Bertrand, Dr. Nelson Hamilton, and Marcos Rosales. And our third man in the ring, the referee in charge of this bout, is Cecil Peoples. All right, fans, here we go. Introducing to you first on my right, fighting out of the blue corner, standing 5 feet 6 inches, he weighed in at 156 pounds. Representing the time-honored tradition of wrestling, his record stands at 2 wins and 1 defeat. Joining us from Japan, please welcome Katsuhiko Nagata. And his opponent across the ring on my left, fighting out of the red corner, standing 5 feet 7 inches. He weighed in at 156 pounds. He's a submission wrestler with a record of 4 wins, 3 defeats, 2 knockouts, and 1 submission to his credit. Representing the NorCal Fight Factory and hailing from San Jose, California, please welcome Isaiah Problem Child Hill. Once again, our referee in charge is Cecil Peoples, now to give instructions. 3 5-minute round schedule.
All right, guys, I want a good, clean fight. Obey my commands all the time. Keep your hands up, protect yourself at all times. Any questions? Any questions? Let's dance. Jim. Keep your fingers closed. Come on, keep working. Work. Work. Okay. Stop, stay up, right here, come on, step, hold it, hold down, go down, let's go, right here, go. No, time. Doctor. Hey, go to the corner. Doc. Where's the doctor?
Fight?
Yeah.
Fight.
It might be
He's
bleeding.
fine.
He's not broken?
He's fine.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Ready? Ready? Let's go. Fight, fight. Not the back of the head, not in the back of the head, no back of the head. Let's go. Work, work, work. Stop. Stand up. Let's go. Stand up. Come on, stand up. More fight. More fight. Let's go. More fight. Let's go. Get your head in. Stop, stop, stop. Turn around, turn around, turn around. Stay there, stay there, stay there. Turn around, turn around. Ready? Fight. Stop.
Watch the head. Watch his head. He can't use his head.
頭使って頭を使って息吸ってカウントは左手ボディ右頭左手ボディ右頭左でボディ打って右なんでフェイス打って顔面打っていけますからもう全然もう相手は冷めてないですからとにかくテイクダウンして Let me clean your face 相当相手はあれです下になるんで下に立ててるんでOkay.
Let's go. One side. One side.
Back to the corner. Back to the corner. Back to the corner. Let's go. Fight. Okay. No back of the head.
That's all I got.
Stop, stop, stop. Turn. Fight.
All right. Okay.
Work. on out, right here. Come on up, come on up. Up, up, up. Right here, ready? Go.
Let's go, Isaiah.
Okay, break. Get inside. Get inside right here. Turn around. Turn around. Turn around. Turn around, Albert. Turn around. Let's go. Go. Now hold the rope. Work, work, work.
Let's go. Kick him off when he comes up. Now, come up and kick. Now, kick him off. Go.
All right.
There you go. Push him off. Move your hips side to side.
Let's go, work.
And again, kick him off, kick him off. Kick him off. Up, up. Come on, Isaiah.
Sorry.
Let's go. There you go.
Work. All right. Stop, stop. Stay here. Stay here. Just turn. Just turn. Turn. Turn more. Turn more. In the ring. Let's go. Fight.
Outside, Isaiah. Go. Let's go, mijo. You got to go. Isaiah, you got to go. Turn your hips. Now, hit hard. Isaiah, you got to go. Let's go. There you go. There you go. Come out. Come out. There you go. There you go. Let's go. Out the side. Let's go. Isaiah, out the side. Let's go.
In the ring. In the ring.
Let's go. Let's go.
In the ring.
Let's go, Isaiah.
In the ring.
Come on, Isaiah. Outside. Now, up, throw. There you go. That works. Come on, let's go.
Stop. Let's go.
When he binds his leg, he sprawls and steps over. You know, that one is not bleeding anymore. Little water. That's on one side. Little water. And I got the good, bleeding from the mouth, too.
Let's go. I want you to do this. Listen.
Breathe. You gotta breathe through your nose. Breathe through your nose, hold it.
Slow your breath down.
Yeah. Get your heart rate down.
Listen to me. Listen to me. Let him go. He's tired. His nose is blocked. Let's go. Hit him. Come on. Come on, bro. All right?
Come on.
You're doing fine. You gotta let them hands go, though. All right?
Let's go. Seconds out. Over here. Hey, over here. Get back there. Come up and touch gloves. Back, 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 back. Let's go. Touch gloves. Touch gloves. Come on. Let's work. Fight. 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 Work. Work. All right, stop. Break. Stay right here. Go. Off the rope. Work.
Come up the rope, people.
Come on, turn your body. Turn. Come on, stay here. Go. Stop. Come on, stand up. Come on, stand up. Let's go. Ready, fight. Let's go. Fight. Stay here. Stay there. Twist. Turn around. Come on, turn. More. Okay, go. Work. Let's work. Stop. Stand up. Come on, get up. Ready. Let's go. Work.
You should have been able to take you down. You had some top positions, but the ref would start it over, so doesn't know what the hell he's doing.
On my head, please.
Here, stand up.
You have a lot of guts. Tell him true warrior spirit. True warrior spirit.
選手の根性を持ってる。
Piece out.
マウスピース取りました。はい。
Yeah, take them out there. Okay. You're ready to rumble.
Over with the shooters like that. Good shape.
Nah, he's in better shape than that. Took the fight on short notice.
It's a mental thing.
Yeah, exactly. He's beaten better guys than this.
Jeez.
I signed up for this, man.
Good job, man. Good job. Good job.
Yeah, it's not going to clean it.
After they're announcing everybody, besides the takedowns, I got all the strikes.
Samurai!
Dynamite, baby, USA. Represent.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we have a split decision. Here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, Richard Bertrand, scores the bout 29-28 in favor of Katsuhiko Nagata. Judge at ringside, Nelson Hamilton, scores the bout 29-28 in favor of Isaiah Hill. And judge at ringside, Marcos Rosales, scores the bout 30-27 in favor of the winner, Katsuhiko Nagata.
When engaging in combat, a mixed martial artist must have courage, skill, and total commitment to achieving victory. Tonight's warriors will have to utilize these traits because no challenge is too big, no opponent is too dangerous. Brock Lesnar, the former NCAA wrestling champion and WWE superstar, makes his MMA debut tonight. Despite the success he's garnered, Lesnar is looking for a bigger challenge, and he may have found it in former Olympic judo silver medalist Min-soo Kim. And in our co-feature, 2 MMA superstars collide. It's a rematch that was 7 years in the making. Royce Gracie once again enters the danger zone to face the formidable Kazushi Sakuraba. Their last encounter was a 90-minute epic. Gracie wants to avenge his loss, while Sakuraba wants to reaffirm his title of Gracie Hunter. Welcome to Los Angeles, California, home to many of the biggest stars in the worlds of entertainment, music, and sports. Tonight, for the first time in history, Japan's K1 Fighting Organization brings its global brand of mixed martial arts to the United States. FEG and EliteXC present Dynamite USA. You never know what you're going to expect in the sport of mixed martial arts. Even the Worm, Dennis Rodman, a part of the pomp and pageantry of Dynamite USA. Of course, the LA Memorial Coliseum, the home of 2 Olympiads. And man, you talk about a colorful character, Bill. Dennis Rodman carrying the torch inside Memorial Coliseum.
Looks like a stick to me, but you know, Rodman, you never know what's going to happen next with Rodman.
And we welcome again, everyone. Mauro Ranallo coming to you from Los Angeles, California, where the sport of mixed martial arts continues to attract world-class athletes from every corner of the sports universe. Tonight we present 2 high-profile MMA debuts as wrestling superstar Brock Lesnar enters the ring for the first time ever, with the outcome yet to be determined. While former NFL first-round draft pick Johnny Morton hopes you can go home again as the USC Trojan returns to the Coliseum in Los Angeles in hopes of repeating his gridiron glory on a different field of battle. And of course, it doesn't get any more international than this. Japan's Kazushi Sakuraba and Brazil's Royce Gracie in a rematch of their epic 90-minute battle in Japan 7 years ago. This is the one fight MMA fans hoped for, but never thought they would see again. Tonight, it's part of Dynamite USA.
No, it's not.
There's Jay Glazer, another Korean athlete that was to have been on the card tonight. He has now received the torch. Mauro Ranallo along with Bill Goldberg and Jay Glazer, some of the pre-pay-per-view fight festivities.
You know, they had the Olympics here, they've had the Super Bowl here, they've had Major League Baseball here. Tonight, finally, mixed martial arts.
Let me ask you a question, Big Bill. You're probably the biggest celebrity in this house. How come you're not carrying a torch?
Well, you know,
Come on, big boy.
As you can see, I'm carrying a different torch, and that's called a microphone tonight, Jim.
I'd like to see you climb up there, kind of light that thing going. Oh, Bill, I tell you what.
Married now.
You live
to passing the torch.
I'm married. I'm old. I'm gassed out.
You live in a world of entertainment. This is pretty much right smack dab in the middle of your universe.
You want to see entertainment?
You going out. Odds on the torch running out of flame. I think it's just happened.
Well, it's so high up in the air right now with Choi holding that thing. It's about 15 feet up there with his arm span.
And there he is, Hongman Choi, the Techno Goliath. He was to have been in the main event tonight, taking on Brock Lesnar in his MMA debut. Unfortunately, was not medically cleared, but he is ascending those final few steps to the top here at Los Angeles' Memorial Coliseum. Jay, the football man, you've seen a lot of football memories in this place.
All kidding aside, just the fact that you light the torch in a place like this, you do get a little nostalgic.
And what kind of nostalgic memories do you hold of being in the Memorial Coliseum?
Oh, back when I played in the Olympics back here, my water polo days, of course, my figure skating days as well, my curling days. I mean, I did it all pretty much, guys.
I think I was on the bench one time when the Falcons played the Raiders here, but I think Rodman just disintegrated up there.
I think Hongman Choi's just received the fright of his life, although I think he's holding the other side of his
yeah,
the heart's on
his
the
heart flew over to the other side of his chest. I like the ponytail, though.
But you know what? I do like the pageantry, regardless, guys, of mixed martial arts. You know, we've seen it over in Pride, seen it here with K1. You love the pageantry. It's not just, you know, come down here and, you know, let's send some guys into the ring and that's it. You make a huge, grand spectacle. Like each fight is a Super Bowl.
And mixed martial arts is a global sensation with fighters from all over the world on hand here tonight.
And now, I want to introduce you to my man, Dennis Rodman.
All right, LA. Either way, you guys can love me or you can hate me, but you know what? It's not my night. It's these guys' night tonight. And K1 is coming to America in LA, and you guys are seeing it live here. UFC? Hell no. We're talking about K1. SoftBank presents Dynamite!
And there you see a panoramic view of the ring and the surroundings of the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, we have Royce Gracie from Brazil and a piece of the Brazilian Carnival. The sights and sounds of what has become a sporting spectacle, K1 Dynamite USA. And obviously Dennis Rodman looking to trumpet K1 here tonight. Bill?
Yeah, I don't think Dennis got the reception he was looking for. But, regardless, like Dennis said, it ain't about him tonight. It's about Dynamite coming to the LA Coliseum for the first time.
And Jay, obviously the UFC doing a very good job. We have Quentin Rampage Jackson, the new UFC light heavyweight champion in the house. And I think since we're in LA, I have to say it. Can't we all just get along?
You absolutely should. You look at Royce Gracie up there who started the UFC, and that started the reason why every single person is here tonight. Fighters, fans, everybody.
I can sure tell you that he's the reason why I started watching. From the first UFC, which he brought over, which was his product, to, Showtime, to Dynamite, to Bodog, to UFC, to everybody. Man, he's the one that started it all here.
And when it expanded in America, it expanded all throughout the world.
Well, we are here finally. Hello again, everyone. Mauro Ranallo coming to you from Los Angeles, California. The sport of mixed martial arts continues to attract world-class athletes from every corner of the sports universe. Tonight, we present two high-profile MMA debuts as wrestling superstar Brock Lesnar enters the ring for the first time ever with the outcome yet to be determined, while former NFL first-round draft pick Johnny Morton hopes you can go home again as the USC Trojan returns to the Coliseum in Los Angeles in hopes of repeating his gridiron glory on a different field of battle. And of course, it doesn't get any more international than this. Japan's Kazushi Sakuraba and Brazil's Royce Gracie in a rematch of their epic 90-minute battle in Japan 7 years ago. This is the one fight MMA fans hoped for, but never thought they would see again. Tonight, it's part of Dynamite USA. And I'm pleased to be working with an explosive crew here. Bill Goldberg certainly fits that description. And Bill, obviously, here we are in probably the grandest stage of them all for mixed martial arts, the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum.
Been a lot happening here at the LA Coliseum. 74 years. There's been the Olympics. There's been the Super Bowl. There's been Major League Baseball. But tonight, the first time MMA is brought to the LA Coliseum.
All right, also pleased to be joined by another MMA firecracker, Jay Glazer. Hey, talk about timing, Jay.
I don't know about that one. I think what's real interesting about this card is we talk about two guys who are making their mixed martial arts debut in Johnny Morton, Brock Lesnar, very successful elsewhere. However, the one thing I'll say, this isn't elsewhere. This is a completely different ball game. Every single guy who steps in there for the first time says to himself, oh my God, what have I gotten myself into? And how fast you can get rid of those nerves depends how fast you'll either take another fight or succeed within that ring as well. I guarantee you right now, Johnny Morton, Brock Lesnar, despite the fact they've had so much success elsewhere, they're sitting in their locker room right now and they have an absolute case of the nerves. Happens to me, happens to every world-class fighter out there in fight number one.
And if Min-soo Kim is smart, he's doing the same thing.
I mean, you don't understand how much your nerves really get involved here because it's a completely different arena, guys.
All right, let's take the lineup for tonight's Dynamite USA pay-per-view card at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. We will see in the main event Brock Lesnar make his MMA debut, taking on the 96 silver medalist in judo, Min-soo Kim. The rematch everyone is talking about, 7 years in the making. Kazushi Sakuraba looking to defeat one more time Royce Gracie. Mighty Mo takes on Ruben Villarreal and a couple of heavy hitters there. Melvin Manhoff squares off against Dong-Sik Yoon. And yes, Johnny Morton returns to the USC Trojans' home field of the LA Memorial Coliseum, where he takes on Bernard Aka in Morton's mixed martial arts debut. And there he is, the new UFC light heavyweight champion, defeating Chuck Liddell not too long ago via knockout. Quentin Rampage Jackson is in the his house.
Yeah, and he's talking to Gary Shaw. Maybe Gary wants to get him in the boxing ring or something.
Well, we are here at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum getting set for our first Dynamite fight of the night as Johnny Morton makes his MMA debut against Bernard Aka.
Fighting in the Coliseum for me would be a lot of fun because it's a place where I've had a lot of success and good memories, so hopefully it will continue.
former NFL wide receiver Johnny Morton. He's taken off all his protective gear and is heading for his first MMA bout. He doesn't need the money or the fame. He's just here to brawl.
I'm used to the blunt force, and I'm used to pain. I could be running full speed, and the guy weighing 200 pounds or 220 could come and just take my head off, and I didn't even know he's coming. To me, this is safer than playing football because at least there's one opponent, and only one guy can hit me at a time, and I know where the punch is coming from.
Bernard Aka. Although he too is new to the MMA game, in his first fight, he pounded his opponent from the get-go, scoring a knockout in just 71 seconds. This aggressive fighter lets the leather fly, so Morton better watch out. Good looks won't help him here. He's out of the football field into the ring. Looking to score a victory in this new arena, everyone wants to know if this star athlete can survive the heat.
I'm an MMA fighter now.
Johnny Morton versus Bernard Aka.
I do. Hailing all the way from the Ivory Coast, in the blue corner, Bernard Aka.
Although he's originally from the Ivory Coast, Bernard Aka has lived in Japan for the last 16 years, where he makes a living not as a fighter, but as a stand-up comedian. Tonight, as he squares off with the debuting Johnny Morton, he hopes to have the last laugh. Do you think that is possible tonight against a guy who is a world-class athlete, who's played the supreme team sport in the National Football League, Jay?
The great thing about MMA, we talked about it being different than anything else. Can it happen? Absolutely. Anything can happen out there. You know, when you step in that ring, because you have such small gloves, you hit somebody on the button, you hit somebody at the right spot, anything can happen. Dynamite at any point.
You know, Bill, he made his first successful attempt at mixed martial arts when he fought Yoon Pyo-shin of South Korea at a K1 Hero Show earlier this year in Nagoya, Japan, picking up the TKO at 111 of round one. So, obviously, he's not looking to be a joke in this fight here tonight.
No question. I mean, he's got a Taekwondo background. We saw from the highlights there that he does have skills. Now, he's going against Johnny Morton, which he's a top athlete, he's a professional, he's big, he's strong, he's fast, and he's aggressive. So, we'll see.
So what he does have, though, guys, is there is a huge difference between your first fight and your second fight. The nerves, the attitude that you bring into the ring, and how fast you actually hook onto your game plan.
You know, Aka, coming from a Taekwondo background, is very quick with his strikes, although they don't hold as much power as a boxer or Muay Thai stylist. And Bill, with your Muay Thai background, you can definitely concur.
Yeah, you know, a Taekwondo guy is going to be basically a points fighter in comparison to a Muay Thai guy who's going to try to kill you with the knees, with the elbows. You know, I really think there's absolutely no comparison to the two disciplines.
Huge crowd on hand here for Dynamite USA. And Jay, obviously Bernard Aka as well, having little experience, the one fight, the win. He's never hit the ground. Obviously Johnny Morton with limited experience, he's never hit the ground. Do you expect this one to go to the ground, and then what happens?
I think the only time it goes to the ground is when somebody gets put to the ground with a punch. I don't think either guy, you know, Bernard Aka told us straight out, no, I don't want to go to the ground. I know that he doesn't have experience there, but I don't want it to go to the ground.
All right, it's a second MMA fight. Bernard Aka ready to do his thing in the ring.
And in the red corner, hailing from the US of A, former USC Trojan, former NFL star, Big Bad Johnny Morton.
For you, bro.
From his success on the college gridiron to the bright lights of the National Football League, Johnny Morton is no stranger to the limelight. On the football field, Morton excelled as a receiver, but tonight, in his MMA debut, he hopes to deliver the punishment instead. And Jay, obviously you cover football for a living. How does he deal with the nerves of making his debut where he once was a star with the USC Trojans?
I've talked to Johnny quite a bit over the last couple of weeks, and also here, he definitely has a case of the nerves sitting back there in the locker room. What I've told him is, look, when you go back there and you originally try and shadow box, in your first fight, your arms are going to feel very heavy. Your kicks are going to feel really slow. Keep working it out almost until you catch your second win. Do 3-4 rounds to really wear yourself out, catch your second win, get down here, and don't worry about everybody else here. The problem with Johnny is his entire home crowd is right here. Don't fight for them, fight for yourself.
What's your
MMA record again?
About 0-9.
There you go.
Bill, you spent some time in the NFL. What are the differences, if there are any, to preparing for a professional football game instead of an MMA fight? What I'm saying is the mental, the physical. How different is it?
First and foremost, as everybody knows, I've never done an MMA fight yet, except for the fact that, a lot of the stuff that I have trained in the Muay Thai sparring that I've done and all the other training that I've done, I can only assume what it's like. Except for playing professional football, I remember my rookie game, I was playing in Berlin, national anthem starts being played, and I almost dropped to the floor. So, I can only imagine what Johnny Morton is going through right now.
Johnny Morton has trained frequently in the off-season. He's been training martial arts for a few years, but again, Jay, this is it, the moment of truth for Johnny Morton.
I tell you what's funny about Johnny. I remember going to Kansas City Chiefs camp, covering, I have a pad and pen in my hand, and Johnny, this is about 4 years ago, Johnny comes flying up to me, wanting to throw kicks at my head. Back then, he started getting the bug, started itching. He's always wanted to do this. Now he's there. Let's see if he can answer the bell.
Played wide receiver in the NFL from 94 to 2005 with the Detroit Lions, Kansas City Chiefs, and the San Francisco 49ers, but it was right here at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum where he cut his gridiron teeth with the USC Trojans. But this is a whole new ball game, my friend.
And because of his name and because of Brock Lesnar's name, he can't really cut his teeth on the smaller shows. Because of his name, he starts with the biggest show there is. Because of his pedigree, because of his competitive side, he wants to come and start right off the bat. Right.
The huge aerial view here. And
normally you start with smaller shows.
I was going to say, you don't necessarily endorse Johnny Morton making his MMA debut on such a big stage.
I actually told him originally when he told me that he was nuts. This is too big of a stage for him.
All right, let's go to the tail of the tape of this light heavyweight matchup. Johnny Morton is 35, 6 feet tall. He weighs in tonight at 213 pounds with a striking background. His opponent, Bernard Aka, is 35, 6 feet, 207 pounds with Taekwondo and Judo. And again, because it's non-title fight here in K1, they do allow them to come in at overweight, what was to be a light heavyweight bout.
Yeah, well, look, Johnny Morton never thought he'd be a heavyweight, but tonight at USC he is.
All right, let's go through the rules of the belts for Dynamite UFC. USA, 3 judges score the fight based equally on striking, grappling, effective aggression, and ring control. It's based on a 10-point must system. No elbows or forearms to the head, no knees to the head of a downed opponent, and the referee or doctor can stop the fight. All right, let's take you up now to the one, the only, the estimable Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen in attendance, and to our MMA fans joining us around the world, welcome to the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum for an international and historic night of mixed martial arts as SoftBank presents Dynamite USA in association with Pro Elite. At this time, we present our judges scoring this bout from ringside. From Florida, Richard Bertrand. From California, Alejandro Rochin. And also from California, Marcos Rosales. And our third man in the ring, our referee in charge of this bout is Nelson Hamilton. All right, fans, here we go. Heavyweights in the ring. Scheduled 3 3-minute rounds of action. Introducing to you first on my right, fighting out of the blue corner, standing 6 feet even, he weighed in at 207 pounds. With a background of Taekwondo and Judo, he is undefeated in his young campaign with 1 win, no losses, 1 win coming by way of knockout. Hailing from the Ivory Coast in Africa, introducing Bernard Aka. And his opponent across the ring. On my left, fighting out of the red corner, also standing 6 feet even, he weighed in at 213 pounds. He is a striker tonight, making his professional MMA debut. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the football great, the USC All-American and former NFL star from Torrance, California, introducing Johnny Morton. Once again, a referee in charge is Dr. Nelson Hamilton now to give instructions. 3 3-minute rounds scheduled.
All right, gentlemen, I went over the rules with you. You say you understand them. That means I expect a clean fight. I expect you to protect yourself at all times. I expect you to listen for my commands at all times. Touch them up, let's do it.
Again, as decreed by the California State Athletic Commission, this is a fight tonight with 3 3-minute rounds. And obviously during the stare down, even though Bernard Aka is a stand-up comedian, he doesn't take mixed martial arts as a joke, doesn't think it's a laughing matter. But here it is, Johnny Morton returning to USC as an MMA fighter. This fight is underway. And immediately Morton overwhelming Aka. So much for a feeling out process, Jay. Morton going for the takedown.
You know what happens? Again, you don't really get hit full force with those little gloves in training. You don't want to get cut. You're not really used to it. And the first time you get hit, man, it's a rude awakening.
Finally, Morton does secure the takedown, but Aka has the underhook. Good takedown defense there. Aka gets back up to his feet, delivers a Muay Thai knee strike. Nice uppercut by Aka. And now Morton hits him with the right hand. And they are really swinging for the fences.
And Aka's hair fell out.
And there's the knockout. Morton is down. Unbelievable KO. Bernard Aka knocks out Johnny Morton in his mixed martial arts debut. Not the homecoming Morton was looking for.
Yeah, that's what Jay was telling you about making his homecoming at this such a big stage.
And you know what this tells you, Jay? You can be an NFL star, you can be a Major League Baseball star, but mixed martial arts, you've got to put your time in. You cannot train part-time and think that you're going to be a world-class fighter. You have to put your time in.
No, what Johnny, again, needed to do is kind of go into some of the bigger, smaller shows before stepping up to such a big show. But you know what? Johnny Morton, at least he did it. I give the guy credit for coming into this world, trying our world out.
Absolutely.
Most people are not willing to do it.
You know, first and foremost, gentlemen, let's give him a second here. We need to make sure that Johnny is all right in that ring.
He was knocked out. They are reviving him right now, and definitely, again.
Hey, buddy, I tell you what.
Take out the mouthpiece, maybe.
Yeah, that's exactly what I know how he feels, guys. My first fight, I got choked down 1 minute and 9 seconds, and I brought all my friends, man. Everyone. I said, oh, my goodness, all 3 of my friends, and it took me about 6 months until my next fight, until I won, to get over it. Johnny has to realize, hey, this is something that most of his friends are not going to understand. They're not going to realize it, but again, at least he tried.
Oh, Bernard Aka, definitely no joke, showing knockout power. 38 seconds of round 1 records the KO victory in scintillating fashion. What a way to kick off Dynamite USA. There is indeed dynamite in the hands of Bernard Aka.
And this in no way, shape, or form, okay? I want both of you to understand this, and I want everybody out there to understand this also, okay? This isn't an indication that mixed martial arts guys are tougher than football guys or are tougher than hockey guys. It's just they're more prepared.
It's all about the training.
It's all about preparation. And I don't want to hear it from anybody because it's all about preparation.
Definitely. And they were looking to make
you're the best athlete in the world, you're an NFL player, you're an NHL player, you're a Major League Baseball player, and these days you're an MMA practitioner.
Definitely. I could not agree more. And like you say, obviously K1 looking to make a splash in North America, and obviously Johnny Morton brings the cachet, a former NFL star, but definitely not the kind of fight that he was looking for tonight, and are definitely concerned for Johnny Morton. But again, safety is always paramount. A crack staff of medical officials on hand, and they are tending now to the fallen Johnny Morton. And there is the victor, Bernard Akin. I'm sure concerned as well for him because, Bill, you say yourself, this is about athleticism, this is about competition, and Bernard Akin doing his job, but obviously he doesn't want to hurt his opponent, and we are hoping that Jay Glazer will be able to bring us up to speed on the condition of Johnny Morton.
You know, in the interviews the other day, you know, Bernard, very, very nice guy. Johnny, man, you know, terrific guy, but he was so stressed out, and I totally understand his situation. I don't know how many people have asked me when I'm going to do this thing, but the reality is you get to an age and you got to stop.
Let's take a look at the highlights from the only round, and believe me, it wasn't much. That right hand.
Yeah, he just walked into a straight right hand. That's all he did. There he is trying to get his distance. Yeah, no.
That's what you call a shot of the button.
He just walked straight into a right hand. No defense whatsoever. I mean, it's all about timing. It's all about experience. You just need to get the experience before you think that you can step in the ring with these guys.
And that's shades of what Quinton Rampage Jackson did to the Iceman Chuck Liddell to capture the UFC Light Heavyweight Championship. Jackson in attendance tonight. Referee Doc Hamilton immediately stopping the fight.
Yeah, here's Akin's reaction. There's no question he's got to be happy. It's his second MMA fight. 2-0 now as a comedian, as a talk show host, and you know, he put down a legend right here. Put down a legend. You know, we're at USC. Johnny Morton made
a football legend.
Absolutely.
Not an MMA one, and obviously realizing full well tonight that yes, preparation is key. It looks like he's got his faculties about him, which is a good sign. Raising his hand, and hopefully Johnny Morton will be just fine. Although living with the memories of a 38-second knockout.
Say again?
And obviously UCLA defensive backs never hit him that hard. Let's go to Jay Glazer now.
In the ring over Johnny Morton. Johnny was talking. He was awake. He's obviously being strapped to the gurney for precautionary measures. The doctor seemed to think he'd be all right. He moved his hand. And he was talking to the doctors. He lifted his head up to try and talk to everybody. So right now he's just trying to. They are really securing him more for precautionary measures than anything.
So Jay Glazer with that good report, and good to see that Johnny Morton has his faculties about him. And hopefully just cleaning up the cobwebs. Let's go now to Jimmy Lennon Jr. with the official announcement.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time of 38 seconds in round number 1. He is the winner by way of knockout and still undefeated, Bernard Akin.
Referee Steve Mazzagotti also stopping by at the broadcast booth, just letting us know that Johnny Morton is going to be fine, was talking to everyone like Jay Glazer said, so good to see, and congratulations, Bernard Akin, stand-up comedian. Definitely no joke when it comes to his MMA skills, recording a highlight reel knockout win.
Yeah, you know, I think he's just added to his repertoire. Now he's an MMA practitioner for real.
Just getting started there, as you see, Mr. Tanagawa-san, the leader of K1 in Japan, with their debut event here in North America, United States. All right, we're going to take a look at the replay now in full speed. Just listen to this impact.
And now Morton hits him with the right hand. And they are really swinging for the fences over there.
Akin's down for him. There's the knockout.
Morton is down.
You can hear that sick thud of leather meeting jaw, Bill, and that's never a pleasant experience for the person on the receiving end.
See, I got to tell you what, I was a little distracted by Akin's hair flying off on the side of the ring right there. Matter of fact, it's still sitting there.
He's got the little Milli Vanilli thing, but he wasn't lip-syncing that fight, my friend. He was the real deal, delivering the goods, Jay. And There you see the thousands in attendance here at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, outdoors in Southern California. On a beautiful night here for Dynamite USA. A lot of Asians, of course, in attendance supporting their Korean contingent and, of course, the Japanese promotion K1 invading America. And we are just moments away from our next battle between Mighty Mo and Warpath Ruben Villarreal. The LA Coliseum is the historic site as we get set for the next fight of the night, a battle of the red, white, and blue as Mighty Mo meets Warpath Ruben Villarreal.
Since the start of the year, he has stepped into the ring 5 times. Each time he walked out, but his opponent didn't. Five straight knockouts, including 3 in the same day in a K1 World Grand Prix tournament in Hawaii. Mighty Mo is fighting in the zone.
Talk is cheap. I'll speak with action.
I can't wait to get in the ring with you, brother, because we're going to get him up, and we're going to get bloody, and we're going to get crazy, and we're going to do this in front of a whole lot of people. So I can't wait. It'll be fun.
He is Native American, a brave warrior of the Chippewa tribe. Born with a body made of iron, he seems immune to any attack. And his warrior spirit will not be intimidated.
Warriors need to go to battle. Warriors have to go to war.
Tonight, will the Smokin' Samoan's deadly right hook claim his 6th knockout in a row? Or will the fearless fighter Warpath, powered by the blood of his ancestors, put an end to Mighty Mo's string of knockouts?
A quick update on the status of Johnny Morton. He has been taken to a California hospital here in Los Angeles for precautionary reasons, so hopefully he will be all right. Although a late addition to tonight's fight card, Ruben is always ready to do battle. He's faced some of the best and biggest names of the sport, and although he may not always have his hand raised in victory, he always displays his warrior spirit, Bill.
Yeah, the one thing about Ruben is that he is a warrior. I don't know how many fights this guy has taken on the last second. You know, the first one that comes to my mind is when he stepped in there with Boss, you know, and his comeback, and that didn't last long.
No, and Villarreal obviously not with the best record of any fighter, but again, we talk about anyone who steps into the ring or the cage has to have respect, and that's really what it's all about. And this guy is a warrior, and he will take on all comers, taking this fight on short notice. And he faces one of the heaviest hitters in the sport. But this guy also not afraid to mix it up with his hands.
I mean, like I said, taking the Boss Rutten fight on late notice,
yeah,
nothing else needs to be said right there, because Boss is probably the most dangerous guy on the planet.
And that was
one of them.
WFA show last July, where Boss Rutten made his comeback after 7 years of retirement, stopping Ruben Villarreal. Of course, Villarreal looking to win tonight. And we do have some celebrities in the audience tonight. Big MMA fan Nicolas Cage in attendance.
And there's Ruben, headed to war.
And we go from the cage to the ring.
Yeah, you got it. Absolutely.
Is that better? That's much better.
It's one thing I've always liked about the Dynamite events, man. You know, when I was working over in Japan, and we know when you were working over in Japan, New Year's Eve was the time for the Dynamite event.
Yeah, it was amazing, the spectacle. And again, they put in 35, 40,000 people every year. And that's really what the Japanese get when it comes to sports, mixed martial arts. It's as much about the show as the go, Bill. And we saw it here tonight with an elaborate opening ceremony, even choosing the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum for their debut event. That takes some cojones.
I ain't leaving you this
All right, we were supposed to be watching Melvin Manoff taking on Dong-Sik Yoon now, but there is late-breaking news, and we'll go to Jay Glazer for this report.
All right, thanks a lot, Mauro. I'm sitting here with Armando Garcia, who is the executive officer of the California State Athletic Commission. And here's the skinny, guys. Dong-Sik Yoon, he wanted to tape up his ankle. What happens is the Athletic Commission allows you to wear a knee sleeve, an ankle sleeve. What he wanted to do is tape it. And they said, hey, you have no injury. You can't go in there and over-tape that ankle. There's nothing wrong with you. He refused, so they said, you know what? If you refuse, you're not going to go by our rules. Fine, we move on. That's exactly what they did. However, Mr. Garcia is now informed me that since then, Mr. Yoon is willing now to go into the fight without over-taping that ankle, which he should have done in the first place.
So Ruben Villarreal looking to get on the warpath a little early here. Great stuff by Jay Glazer. Thanks you very much, Jay. And Bill, obviously, what does that do now? Knowing that maybe you thought you had a few more minutes, but now you're being, addressed to the ring early. Does that play any mental games?
For Yoon, it just postpones the inevitable, to be perfectly honest with you, for me. But, for these guys, they're ready at any time.
And Warpath is stepping into the ring against this man, Mighty Mo!
Well, without question, Mighty Mo packs one of the biggest punches among tonight's combatants. His knockout power is second to none, and tonight, Jay, he is looking for the quick KO.
Absolutely. He's saying that, well, I actually like mixed martial arts a lot. In kickboxing, he does a lot of the K1 kickboxing, which actually takes more of a toll on your shins, on your knees, on your head. It's more and more repeated blows. This guy is one of those sledgehammer throwers. He throws sledgehammers. He throws bombs. Ruben Villa, Big Warpath, better make sure he gets out of the way of those bombs. This could be one of those early fights like we just saw in our first one.
Bill, his nickname Mighty Mo comes from when he was doing a little construction work in Utah. He was working on a 2-story building, and get this, it crumbled down over him, and somehow this guy managed to crawl out from under the debris with just a little damage to his eye.
I want to talk to some of the guys who were there, man, because that's a pretty gnarly story.
And there,
I don't know. You see his head. I kind of believe it.
You know what? You see his head and you shake his hand. Mighty Mo, if he hits you with that right and or left, that thing is made of concrete, man.
One of the things you talk about, his opponent here, his opponent, Ruben Villarreal, I keep screwing up the last name. I'll just call him Warpath. He is one of those opponents who comes in and fights on last notice and late notice at the very last minute. One thing I love about him is he said to us the other day, you know what, it's just awful in this sport. We have so much respect for each other. It's terrible when somebody has an opponent pull out. So you know what, you've always got to be ready for war, and that's what I am for everybody else. It's just the respect of MMA. People think like these guys are just coming in for the gym, looking to just whip each other's butts. That's not the case. There is so much respect from fighter to fighter.
And most of Mo's combat experience is in kickboxing, where he's known for his brutal knockout power and that overhand right. He's KO'd 8 of his 12 K1 kickboxing opponents, including the 7'2" Techno Goliath Hongman Choi, who was scheduled to be in tonight's main event against Brock Lesnar, but medical difficulties kept him out of action tonight.
And he also knocked out Brock's opponent tonight,
Min-soo Kim.
Last.
So maybe we should match up Mighty Mo up with Brock Lesnar.
Well, let me tell you, let's let Brock go out, do his thing, and see what happens, and then we'll talk about it.
Jay, he also has shown that he can go more than once in a night. He won in April of this year, fought 3 opponents in one night to win the 2007 K1 World Grand Prix in Hawaii tournament. His son, Mighty Mo Jr., just 14 years of age, fought on the undercard of that event, and that marked the first time that a father and son have ever fought on the same K1 show.
Right, and Mo said that was a lot more difficult for him to watch his son than to take punches or kicks from anybody else, and anybody with a kid out there could certainly relate to that.
No, I was in Vegas when Mo, oh my God, knocked out, who was it? Carter Williams, my God almighty. I heard that thing from about the 5th row.
You know this boxing versus MMA debate that I just wish would go away? Well, in kickboxing, Mighty Mo defeated former IBF heavyweight boxing champion Francois Botha. So, again, you know, if you fight a boxer in a boxing match, I think we know what's going to happen, but the same thing with mixed martial arts. And, you know, all these other athletes are beginning to find out. And, Jay, you've trained mixed martial arts. We talk about these guys getting their black belts in BJJ. The Gracies, who, of course, we have Hoist on board tonight, they say it takes 10 years to get your black belt in Brazilian
Jiu-Jitsu. Look what happened with Vanderlei Silva. It took him to win 2 tournaments to get his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. It's not like the karate black belts where you go for 2 years or something like that and you get your black belt. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is at least a decade.
Let's take you now to the tail of the tape for this heavyweight battle at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. Mighty Mo is 33, 6'1", 292 pounds with a boxing background. Ruben Villarreal is 37, 6'4", 270 pounds with a wrestling background. We got a couple of super heavyweights going at it right now as Jimmy Lennon Jr. will introduce the particulars.
Los Angeles, how many of you out there are Warcraft fans? Warpath fans?
Ladies and gentlemen, SoftBank presents Dynamite USA in association with Pro Elite and a super heavyweight special attraction. Presenting at this time our judges scoring this bout from ringside. We have from Florida, Richard Bertrand. From California, Alejandro Rochin. And also from California, Marcos Rosales. Our third man in the ring, our referee in charge. He'll be giving instructions after the introductions. Herb Dean. All right, fans, here we go with our battle of the super heavyweight scheduled 3 5-minute rounds. Introducing to you first on my right, fighting out of the blue corner, standing 6 feet 4 inches. He weighed in at 270 pounds. A mixed martial artist raised in the discipline of wrestling. His record stands at 11 wins, 12 losses, and 3 draws, with 10 knockouts and 1 submission to his credit. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the MMA veteran from Sacramento, California, introducing Ruben Warpath Villarreal. And his opponent across the ring on my left, fighting out of the red corner, standing 6 feet 1 inch. He weighed in at 292 pounds. This hard-hitting fighter is trained in the disciplines of boxing and kickboxing with an MMA record of a perfect 2 wins, no losses, and 2 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here's the powerful K1 veteran fighting out of San Bernardino, California, introducing the one and only Mighty Mo. Once again, a referee in charge is Herb Dean. Now to give instructions. Once again, we're scheduled 3 5-minute rounds or less.
Gentlemen, we've gone over the rules backstage. Protect yourself at all times. Follow my instructions at all times. We're going to keep this fight nice and clean. Touch gloves, come out ready to do this.
Well, we've already welcomed Nicolas Cage to the event, and there she is, one of the funniest ladies I've ever seen, Tracy Ullman. The star of the new Showtime series, Tracy Ullman State, taking in the K1 Dynamite USA card tonight.
Oh, my God. What is that next to it?
Ready? Good.
And this super heavyweight tilt gets underway, scheduled scheduled for 3 rounds.
Hey guys, we talked about the nerves of Johnny Morton before, and Mighty Mo was telling us 2 days ago, I'm always trying not to get in my own head. You always have to fight the demons in your head. Not saying that he gets scared, but nerves come in all different fashions when you step into this ring.
The best way to cure those nerves is with that devastating overhand right. He's already attempted 2 strikes, but Villarreal doing the smart thing here, you guys, keeping him at close quarters in a Greco-Roman clinch.
Absolutely. What you don't want to do, we talked about it earlier, being on the end of his punch. What I mean by that is having the guy fully extend on his punches, getting the hip torque, getting the legs into it. You don't want to be at the end of that.
It looks to me like Mo's going to try to get separation and throw that overhand right immediately.
That's called breaking the grappler's agreement. Somebody wants to try and grapple with you, try and break it, get some space, and land one of those bombs.
Got the overhooks in, does Warpath, just, again, trying to keep Mighty Mo at close quarters so he cannot lock and unload. And Warpath, we talk about him taking fights on short notice. I mean, this guy's taken on a virtual who's who. He's been in there against Rico Rodriguez, former UFC heavyweight champion. Nice low outside cut kick by Warpath. Boss Rune, Dan Severn, Antonio Silva, Don Fry. I mean, this guy has been in there with some of the biggest and baddest names the sport has to offer. And now he's in there with Mighty Mo. Misses with the left and the right, but Warpath is down, looking for the single leg, but now he gives up his back.
Mo may get a submission.
Oh, and that shot, I think, has put Warpath out. He hurt his body with that shot. And it looks like this fight is over at the 1.5-minute mark of the opening round. Mighty Mo putting on a show for the thousands in attendance here in Los Angeles.
That word is called a sledgehammer.
Villarreal is in some pain here. Something must have happened to the side of his face. He got hit. It might be an orbital break or something to that effect.
Well, you actually heard it from where we are.
Yeah, I heard something bust for sure.
You see how much power Mighty Mo gets in there. If I'm a heavyweight here in the world of mixed martial arts, I've got to make sure that I have an extensive wrestling background to take this to the ground immediately. I'm not standing with the
It's bad enough taking shots from Mighty Mo when you're face to face. When he's on your back and you don't know when it's coming or where it's coming.
Not
only that, when you're on your back like that also, your head has no room to go. There's no give. If you're standing up, at least you could take a punch and kind of roll with it. There's no rolling with it down there.
Mighty Mo remains perfect in his mixed martial arts career, even though it's in its embryonic stages. The K1 kickboxing veteran, now 3-0 with 3 knockout wins.
Ruben is a warrior, though, gentlemen. You got to commend him for doing what he did. He stepped up to the plate. Unfortunately, he was on the. Unfortunately for him, he was on the losing side tonight. But there's nothing to be ashamed of there. He took the fight late notice, and he got taken out by one of the toughest guys, one of the hardest hitting guys in MMA.
Mighty Mo also played college football in California and Alabama. He would bench press 575 pounds and squat 700 pounds. So he packs quite a punch with the physical attributes of Mighty Mo.
You know what?
Oh, and there you see, something happened there. I didn't see it. I can honestly tell you that one, but it looked like he lost his balance. He must have got hit with a shot beforehand.
There's that shot.
There's that left hand.
Brought about the end to this fight for Ruben Warpath Villarreal. And you can see Mighty Mo, once he's engaged in combat, he doesn't want to stop. Here's another look at it.
They're like a freight train, boss.
Wow, misses with a very wild overhand right.
Well, he was swinging for the fence. It was that left hook. The left hook, no doubt. Got his feet crossed up, then he went down, ducked his head, went to grab the leg just to get a couple seconds to get his wherewithal, and then it was all over. Here comes the left hand underneath the.
That, like you say, could have shattered his orbital bone. Herb Dean steps in to stop the fight, and let's take one final look at this.
Here comes the left hand, boom, right on the button. There he goes, trips, goes down, grabs the leg, and here comes. That's already left a mark.
Mighty Mo makes short work of Ruben Warpath Villarreal. And we will find out the official result. Here is Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time of 1 minute, 33 seconds in round number 1. Our referee in charge, Herb Dean, stops the contest due to strikes. He is the winner by way of technical knockout and still undefeated in MMA, Mighty Mo.
So Mighty Mo improving to a perfect 3-0 in his mixed martial arts career. And really, you know, with his wrestling background as well, Bill, this guy could become a big-time force in the heavyweight, super heavyweight division.
Obviously, he's got to work on his ground game, but
beautiful aerial shot right there. This is what K1 Dynamite USA is all about.
Guys, when you... I tell you what, for a guy like this with that punching power, the fact that he's trying to expand on his wrestling, what that's going to do is put him in better positions to land punches. Use wrestling to set up shots.
Hey, Glazer, what do you think about this knockout?
See, I tell you what, if he landed that original right, that would have done it. The left, I think the left more so just stunned Ruben, and Ruben just really didn't want to take another one of those punches. And then what he did, the cardinal sin in the world of mixed martial arts, he gave the man his back. And then he covered up with no defense. And watch out, here's Mighty Mo about to inflict more damage. But I think that first punch, because Ruben has such a big and hard head, he really can take a punch. He got clocked, didn't realize how hard it was until a delayed reaction, went down, said, hey, I don't want to take another one of those on my feet. I'd rather take one on the ground. But again, guys, you can never, ever give your back to a fighter in this sport.
We are here at the LA Coliseum getting set for our next fight of the night. It's Holland's Melvin Manhoff is ready to face off with Korea's Dong Sik-yoon.
Good time. My name is
And there we have it, light heavyweight bout. They've addressed the situation involving Dong Sik-yoon's ankles, and he is set to square off against the heavy-hitting Dutchman Melvin Manhoff.
I'm prepared to die in the ring, so it doesn't matter what's going to happen.
MMA's most untamed warrior has been unleashed. From the backstreets of Amsterdam, this man is Holland's fiercest competitor. His weapon, raw aggression. Opponents beware. As if his overwhelming offense wasn't enough, this fighter doesn't know the meaning of fear.
I'm not gonna lose. I'm not gonna be scared of nobody. I came to fight it. I came to grow.
When I hear the crowd supporting me, it always gives me a lot of energy. I'm hoping that a lot of Koreans living in Los Angeles will come to see the fight.
Dong Sik-yoon is a legend in the world of Korean judo and has a record that is almost unsurpassed. He's won 47 bouts in a row.
I believe in what judo has to offer. As long as I can use those skills, I know I can succeed in MMA.
Hungry Hollander or judo superstar? Whether this fight ends in KO or tap out, one thing's for sure. Both these fighters had better not blink. Melvin Manhoff versus Dong Sik-yoon.
Representing Korea, Dong Sik-yoon.
Well, with his 47 straight wins in the world of judo, guys, Korean Dong Sik-yoon is known as the king without a crown. Having faced some of MMA's royalty in his past fights, tonight he seeks to elevate his game and join the elite of the sport. This guy's gone the distance with the likes of Murilo Bustamante from Brazilian top team, a former UFC champion, and he went the distance, Jay, with the new UFC light heavyweight champion. I know we're talking about him alike, but he's impressive. Quentin Rampage Jackson.
You know, the thing about obviously what you're going to want to do there is take it right to the ground. Melvin Manhoff, we thought that Mighty Mo hits hard. guard, wait till you see the power and the aggression of Melvin Manhoef. This is a typical striker versus grappler arrangement.
Bill, this guy's tougher, though, than you might first think when you see his background and what he's about. I mean, he showed a lot of heart, a lot of spirit when it comes to competing in mixed martial arts. And a lot of people coming from a singular background like judo or wrestling, sometimes they find the transition a little difficult. He was destroyed in his first match by Kazushi Sakuraba, but he's gotten a lot better quickly.
He's got the heart of a warrior, obviously, because his unbelievable judo experience and background has not translated well being 0-4.
And what he did also, guys, when he fought Quentin Rampage Jackson, he didn't let Quentin really tee off on him on those straights. Quentin likes to come right down the pike a lot. He didn't let it. He instead took the outside shots, was able to parry that away. He's going to have to do this as well.
He may very well be the best 0-4 fighter, and there he is, Ghost Rider himself, Nicolas Cage, getting up close to the action. Very beautiful lady by his side.
Somebody go check his ticket. That's a seat jumper.
That's a huge MMA fan.
Bill, I think you should bounce him out, buddy.
Nah, man, I'm doing another thing right now.
Dong Sik-yoon getting closer and closer to the ring, and again, having been with Pride Fighting Championships, now jumping to what was at one time Pride's big rival, K1. Of course, the status of Pride Fighting Championship still up in the air after the purchase by Zuffa in the United States. But Dong Sik-yoon, as we mentioned, Jay, may be the best 0-4 fighter in the sport, looking to get his first win tonight, but easier said than done against the top striker, Melvin Manhoef.
Again, we talked about Melvin Manhoef. Probably the difference between he and Mighty Mo is the aggression that he keeps coming after you nonstop, over and over and over. Mighty Mo looks to land those big shots. Manhoef looks to really put them together, and every single one of them is aggressive.
Mo's aggressive. Manhoef is relentless.
Got a bit of a chant going on. And Dong Sik-yoon will be fighting this man, Melvin Manhoef.
The country of Holland has produced some of MMA's most preeminent strikers. Guys like El Guapo Bas Rutten and Mr. Perfect Ernesto Host come to mind. But tonight, the next generation is on display with Melvin No Mercy Manhoef.
Manhoef's the guy, again, we talked about his aggressiveness, his aggressive nature. He told us 2 days ago, though, that, look, I know my striking is everything, but I want to try and take this to the ground. So I said, why? Why would you possibly do that? And you know why?
He wants to be a more well-rounded fighter. He listens to everybody out there that says you've got to be that well-rounded fighter. Well, you know what? In fact, that is true. But that is true only if that does not take you away from your strength, your bread and butter, which for him is his standard.
Plus, if you want to do it, really do it against a guy who's more of a pure striker. Don't try it against a guy who is well-versed in submissions. Hey, more power to you because you try and expand your game. And nowadays, we've talked about this a lot, guys. There's pretty much one style out there, MMA. Yeah. You don't have judo against karate, against Muay Thai, or against Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. You've got to have it all. So in order for him to step up to the next level, he's trying to have it all.
We got a little showmanship going on, gentlemen.
I don't know what that is.
He's ready to
Looking to put on a little dance. Make a little glove tonight with mixed martial arts. He's got a Muay Thai background, and you know this guy, look at his legs, look at his calves, look at his thighs. This guy is a lifelong athlete, trains consistently, 6 days a week, varies his training each day, working on multiple facets of his game. You know what? It's gained a lot of attention in recent years, 10-1 in his last 11 fights, and one of the best fights you will ever see was his cage range scrap with Cyborg Santos.
Make some noise for Melvin.
No stranger to you, Mr. Glazer, Keyshawn Johnson. Has he found a home yet?
He has found a home. He's actually decided to go in and take on what we're doing, guys, the broadcast world.
Smart man. Save your body, kid.
You know, Keisha, it was interesting. I talked to him right before he came here. He actually has trained with Royce Gracie in the past. So all these people now trying to cross over, trying to do extra training. Sean Merriman, Jaron Allen, the Chiefs, they're all trying to use mixed martial arts for their NFL training it. I don't blame him. You know why? Because your hands, buddy.
I did
your
that
hands,
a long time ago. Long time ago. As a defensive lineman, you take a keto.
I don't know why every NFL player wouldn't try and do something.
Well, when I was at the University of Georgia, they brought a guy in that teach a D lineman.
Right.
Hey,
used to do that.
Keyshawn Johnson, unlike some of us, coming here from Toronto, you're just up the road too. San Diego, you're in Arizona. He grew up just up the street from the USC, so not a long way to go. And actually was a ball boy here at USC before becoming an NFL star. Just throw him the ball, getting the ball in broadcasting now.
He's a knucklehead.
Well, Melvin Manhoff looking to deliver a knuckle sandwich tonight to Dong-Sik Yoon. And again, don't let the looks fool you. He definitely is a physical specimen, but this guy is also a very cerebral fighter, knows what it takes. And really, mixed martial arts is not all about brawn. It's not all about just who's the toughest. It is a very cerebral sport. We call it the game of kinetic chess for a reason, Jay.
You know what? Because one thing sets up another, that sets up another. And absolutely, there is a rhyme to the reason out there. It's not just a bar brawl.
All right, let's go to the tail of the tape for this bout between Melvin Manhoff and Dong-Sik Yoon. Manhoff is 35'8", 192 pounds with a kickboxing background. Dong-Sik Yoon, 34, 6 feet tall, 190 pounds. His style is judo. We talked about it, having won 47 judo fights in a row at one point of his illustrious career. Let's now take you to Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, SoftBank presents Dynamite USA in association with Pro Elite and this light heavyweight special attraction. Presenting our judges scoring this bout from ringside, from Florida, Richard Bertrand. From California, Nelson Hamilton. And also from California, Cecil Peoples. Presenting to you our referee in charge of this bout. He'll be giving instructions. After the introductions, we have Marcos Rosales. All right, fans, here we go. Light heavyweights in the ring. We're scheduled 3 5-minute rounds. Introducing to you first on my right, fighting out of the blue corner, standing 6 feet even. He weighed in at 190 pounds. He's an MMA fighter representing the discipline of judo. Looking for his first MMA victory in his 5th professional bout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Judo World Championships bronze medalist from Seoul, South Korea, introducing Dong-Sik Yoon. And his opponent across the ring. On my left, fighting out of the red corner, standing 5 feet 8 inches, he weighed in at 192 pounds. He's a mixed martial artist specializing in the discipline of kickboxing. His hard-hitting record stands at 16 wins, 3 losses, and 1 draw, with 15 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the 2006 finalist in the K1 Heroes Light Heavyweight Tournament from Amsterdam, Holland. Here is the hard-hitting Melvin Manhoff. And once again, a referee in charge is Marcos Rosales, now to give instructions. 3 5-minute round schedule.
Gentlemen, obey my commands at all times. Protect yourself at all times. Touch them up. Let's have a good fight.
Jay, and the reason that I'm a member of the Min-soo organization is because of advice like this. For Dong-Sik Yoon, take it to the ground and quick.
Immediately. Absolutely. Do not let Melvin Manhoff unleash his fury.
15 knockouts and 16 wins, Bill.
Wow.
You know what, guys? What really impressed me, too, is Melvin was here about an hour and a half before every other fighter on this main card tonight. He came here to try to get a feel for the entire atmosphere.
You know what? Looking at him, man, he's loose and he's ready to go. So I think it's going to be really hard. It's going to be real hard for our judo buddy over there.
Dong-Sik Yoon receiving a raucous reception from the big South Korean contingent, and already on the ground after a swarming of strikes by Melvin Manhoff. And Dong-Sik Yoon is in a world of trouble. Lefts and rights, lighting him up like a Christmas tree, lighting him up like the stars of Hollywood.
trying to weather the storm and at least pull him in and try to grab a hold. And I tell you what, you do not want to stand there and
But we talked about Dong Sik-yoon being tough. He's showing the heart here, surviving that onslaught.
That he is.
Melvin Manhoff, if there's one thing that he's a little bit weak in, is he does get, when he sees blood, he gets a little bit too over-aggressive and can get in a bad position. That's what's happened here.
And he has been knocked out twice, you guys. His chin has been tested. He has been knocked out twice, both times early in his MMA career.
Early in his MMA
Yeah, and I don't think he's got a chance of getting knocked out here, but he does have a chance of being over-aggressive, obviously, like he was, and look what happened.
As we saw with Johnny Morton in his MMA debut, everyone has a chance of getting put to sleep.
And this is where Yundong seeks really his only hope is. He's going to try and get Melvin Manhoff to throw an arm out there, make a mistake, maybe leave his head open, do something where you can attack a joint, go for a submission, because he has no chance standing on his feet.
Manhoff coming off a TKO win over Yoshiki Takahashi, Pancrase star. That was in March of this year. And of course, the last time Dong Sik-yoon saw action was in Pride Fighting Championships in November of 2006, losing a decision to Murilo Bustamante. And there's Dong Sik-yoon looking for the armbar on the underneath. Good escape by Manhoff. Oh, and that right hand tattoos him.
Listen to the power in those shots.
And Dong Sik-yoon now trying to thwart this offensive barrage.
Tell you what, that's one tough cookie right there.
We never questioned his heart, Jay. You never questioned the toughness of Dong Sik-yoon.
Oh, absolutely not. Again, the people that we've already said that he has gone the distance with, but I will say this, I'm impressed with his chin because he has taken some vicious punishment there, and I think, heck, guys, we both know that many other opponents would have already either submitted or whether verbally or non-verbally would have submitted by now.
And Dong Sik-yoon's face beginning to look like it's been put together by a ransom note. It looks like it's been bruised and battered. We are halfway through first round action here at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. The huge Korean contingent now trying to rally behind their hero, Dong Sik-yoon.
This is not what he wants to do. He does not want to stand here. You've got yourself, you got an under and over there.
Nice takedown into side control.
He definitely doesn't want to be there, and you hear the crowd getting behind him.
And this is definitely Dong Sik-yoon's domain. Again, a reminder, no elbows or forearm strikes to the head as decreed by the California State Athletic Commission. No knee strikes to the head of a downed opponent, but Dong Sik-yoon can deliver knees to the body, although right now he's more interested, Jay, in trying to maneuver the arm, looking for an arm bar perhaps, or maybe a key lock.
Well, Melvin Manhoff was saying that he wanted to get more well-rounded in his game. Well, we're going to see how he is now. He's Yundong Sik has side control there, and Manhoff has been tapped out with an arm bar in the past.
Manhoff trying to stay busy.
Trying to attack that elbow.
Well, we got full mount with the hooks in.
He's got the full mount, and that brings about a huge response from the crowd. And Dong Sik-yoon turning the tables on Melvin Manhoff and trying to blister him with those right hands.
One thing's for sure, Manhoff can take a shot, okay? But can he defend against a submission?
Now he's going for it. It looks like he's going for an Americana momentarily. Melvin Manhoff fights that off.
Now what he's going to do here, he's going to try and throw punches just to get Melvin to use an arm, to sacrifice an arm, not to take the punches. Hey, Sik is not trying to knock this guy out. He's trying to get an arm so he can submit him.
Trying to distract him, you're right. Delivering those right hands, maybe looking to maneuver the hips for that right arm. It's trying to cover here, but he is getting tattooed, you guys, finally.
Sure.
Melvin Manhoff explodes.
He's got the arm.
He's got the nice escape by Manhoff. And now Manhoff begins to unleash on Dong Sik-yoon. What a fight here at Dynamite USA.
Tell you what, these are two tough characters. Each one has taken pretty much the best. Oh, there we go.
Half a minute left in what has been an action-packed opening round. Just listen to the crowd.
We actually may have a fight go into the second round, too.
And this is the one fight we didn't think would make it to the second round.
As I stated, I've called all of Dong Sik-yoon's fights in Pride Fighting Championships. He impressed everyone with how much he improved exponentially every outing. And here he is surviving the first round and maybe even taking it away from Melvin Manhoff. It'll be yet to be determined, guys, but what a round, what a night. Wow.
Serious submission attempts there. It's got to certainly weigh a little bit in his favor in the judges' minds.
One thing's for sure, he's put doubt in Manhoff's mind.
The one question now, though, is Dong Sik-yoon has taken punishment to the face. His right eye is closed.
Absolutely. Look at that eye. You don't know how much you can see out of that right eye.
Here we're going to see some back and forth in the fight.
Nice
low kick.
What that low kick did, guys, is he did not want to stand there, take any more punishment, so he voluntarily went to the ground, hoping that Melvin Manhoff would jump and follow him.
And here's Yoon with the trip, turning the tables.
Beautiful takedown into side control. From there, he went to full mount and really did some damage and almost looking for the armbar.
Here's the escape by Manhoff.
Well, the attempt at an escape, it ended up in an armbar submission attempt by Dong-Sik Yoon, but there was slipping the arm out. And we go into round number 2.
Guys, Melvin Manhoff's got to do a better job of when he sees blood, not just throwing wildly, because that is giving Yoon a chance to take him in the only place that he has a chance to win this fight.
He's got to be smart. He's got to be cerebral.
Be more measured about it.
He doesn't have to rely on his aggression.
Dong-Sik Yoon now has to be wary that his right eye is closed, and Melvin Manhoff may be a gentleman in real life, but this is a fight. This is business. He has to exploit that right eye, and it looks like it is definitely becoming a bane, but look at Dong-Sik Yoon with a takedown again.
Persistence. I'll tell you what, Dong-Sik Yoon missed a knee by inches.
He's right in the half guard. What he's trying to do is you use that left foot to try and post out to go to full mount.
And that's what he does effortlessly, and now has him in the corner, and this is almost like a cage. Now raining down some shots. His Dong-Sik Yoon, he's got Manhoff's back. Look at Manhoff trying to escape from the back door.
Manhoff is very lucky. This is not a cage.
Wow, it's Dong-Sik Yoon just relentless. There's the armbar. Dong-Sik Yoon records the win.
Unbelievable.
And the crowd erupts. What a win for Dong-Sik Yoon. Nicolas Cage enjoying it. Quentin Jackson enjoying it. And of course, the thousands in attendance celebrating. What a victory. A Pyrrhic one, but a victory.
I tell you what, you got to say, this guy's willing to take punishment to go after his game. He took shot after shot from Manhoff just so he can get in there. And eventually, I think he realized, you know what? These punches and kicks don't hurt as much as I thought, so I'll eat a punch or two just to get in, get control, take this fight where I want, and go after it.
You know, one of the notes we had, guys, was that if you get Manhoff on the bottom, and before he's able to start his inside striking, he is open to being submitted. And that said, we have got a winner in Dong-Sik Yoon, and really, he doesn't look like a
Where's his right eye at?
Yeah. Wow. That thing's the size of a tennis ball, forget a golf ball.
Kind of looks like a blowfish.
Great fight.
There's the spin. Oh, yeah. Trip, spin.
That's where the judo
right to the full mount. Put him in the corner and blast him.
And Manhoff had to do anything. I'm sorry, but Manhoff had to do at that point anything he could to get out, get away from his grasp, because the judo is going to take over there, and now you're in his domain.
Here's the end of the fight.
We said he was the best 0-4 fighter in the sport. Well, he's not over anymore, thanks to this armbar submission at 117 of round 2, fully extending the arm right here. And that brings about the immediate tap as Melvin Manhoff is brought to Tap Town. And there it is, his first win, the biggest and the best of his career.
A picture-perfect textbook, at least the technique, as far as the technique is concerned. He tried to get the arm, had it secure, but didn't have the right position, so he went and grabbed the leg, threw his hips over, and that opened up the armbar flat on his back.
Manhoff is in disbelief.
Let's now go to Jimmy Lennon Jr. with the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time of 1 minute 17 seconds in round number 2. An arm bar ends this contest as the fighter taps out. He is the winner by way of submission, Dong-Sik Yoon.
The thunder claps from the crowd. And what a win and a great effort by Dong-Sik Yoon. So for Jay, obviously, for Melvin Manhoff, needs to work on the ground game. You know, we talk about it. Nowadays, there's a style called MMA. Right. You need to know every discipline before setting up and getting off on the big stage. You got to be well-versed in everything.
And he talked to us about wanting to take this fight to the ground to see if he could do a better job when he's aggressive. Instead, he has to do a better job, obviously, defending the submission attempts, defending the arm bars, because now this is, you know, he's gotten hit twice with an arm bar. You know, He got it in under 2 minutes of a fight on the March 12th. So he obviously sees at least where his game lacks, and he needs to take himself now to a top Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu school, a top MMA school, and figure out, okay, I have a huge hole here.
Hey, look who else is in the house. Rosie Perez, Mr. Goldberg.
My question is this, gentlemen. When you have a guy so skilled at Muay Thai.
Oh, you don't like Rosie Perez?
You know what? I'm talking fight here. When you got a guy who's so skilled at Muay Thai, why doesn't he immediately go and train 6 months, train 8 months at a jiu-jitsu school, and forget his Muay Thai?
Because it's not comfortable, and that's the big thing. In this sport, you've got to check your ego, put it aside, and say, okay, yes, I need to keep this, make sure I'm still practice my bread and butter.
You bring up a salient point, though.
You have to double time it in what you're bad at, because that's where you're going to get caught.
And it's going to be interesting to see in the main event if Brock Lesnar may have taken that advice, Bill, because I know he's a close friend of yours. We talked about it. His wrestling is his bread and butter. But will he be comfortable if it does become a stand-up fight?
And
the judo guy may not have it. But
only time's going to tell on that one, gentlemen. You know, if I'm Brock Lesnar, and I'm 106-5, I sure as hell ain't going to spend a lot of time working on freestyle wrestling.
But again, a lot of guys start doing things that they feel more comfortable, because even practicing in MMA, guys, it's painful. It sucks an awful lot. It sucks getting in there practicing, especially something that you feel like such a fool at. If you're so bad at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and you come in there and you got guys half your size who are white belts just throwing you around, it's difficult for you to deal with ego-wise. To be successful in this sport, you've got to check your ego at that front door.
Hey, is that a hula hoop Rodman's got in his ear?
That's the worm, Dennis Rodman, involved in one of the weirdest torch ceremonies I've ever seen. I don't know. What would you think of Dennis Rodman, Olympic athlete?
In what?
Well, basketball.
I think
one of the best rebounders the sport's ever seen.
I think he'd be terrific.
There you go.
Definitely has no problem in meeting the ladies. Might have to talk to him for a few minutes.
He never has.
Mauro, you need to talk to anybody right now.
Thank you very much.
And
Thank
everybody.
you very much. Look at this. Night has fallen on Los Angeles, but the action is just going to get brighter and brighter as we are just moments away from two very intriguing fights. Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, the scene of the K1 Dynamite USA debut, and there's the Olympic torch set aflame tonight, guys. And good news, fight fans, we've got bonus action for you coming up here on Dynamite USA. Brad One Punch Pickett from the Cage Rage promotion in England takes on one of the top stars for K1 Heroes in Japan, the janitor, Hideo Takoro.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for the next fight? Let me introduce you to your fighters then. Our first fighter, Hideo Takoro.
Here's our look at Hideo Takoro, who has done very well for himself in his native country of Japan. You know, this guy was working as a janitor, kind of endeared himself to the fans of Japan, knowing that he came from humble beginnings and has really carved out a very successful career for himself. Actually, a good friend of mine, Kaltar Gill, known as Black Mamba from British Columbia, actually stunned Takoro, defeating him in lightning quick fashion with a knee strike. But he's a guy who is definitely a star on the rise, and he is known for, taking on all comers as well.
I think people appreciate him because he's willing to fight constantly. He's fought 6 times in 2006. He's a guy who, hey, this is what I do for a living. I fight. You want me to fight somebody? God bless you. Send me in there.
And again, just showcasing the international talent on display at Dynamite UFC. We saw Ivory Coast's Bernard Aka knock out the American Johnny Morton. We saw the Dutchman Melvin Manhoff go down to South Korea's Dong Sik Yoon. And next up, we've got Japan's Hideo Tokoro about to meet Great Britain's Brad Pickett. What do you think's going through his mind right now, guys? Soaking up this atmosphere, being in the great outdoors, a huge crowd in attendance, and the long journey from the dressing room via the cart to the ring. Obviously trying to get focused. Jay, what do you go through minutes before a fight when you're so close to the ring? Are you visualizing? Are you just trying to shut everything out?
You know what? You're trying to shut everything out, but there's so many different things that get in your head here. There's so many different, a guy like this, again, I don't have the experience that he has, so this is like just another walk in the park for him, another day out there. But I'm sure he's coming down here looking around saying, okay, we got this great ring, we're at a legendary place, and there's like Dennis Rodman and whoever else, and what the heck is going on here? I think that's what he's thinking.
Bill, you've been in the NFL, you've been in the professional wrestling circuit at the highest level. What's it like for you just before showtime?
If you don't get nervous, you're dead, kid. So, so there's a good thing to be said for nerves. Nerves get you on edge, but they also get you prepared, okay? So, every time...
For him, though, because he fights so much, nerves isn't really an issue for a guy like him.
He's got nerves, man. Everybody's got nerves.
No, but I don't think, but it's not going to be an issue.
No, being an issue is one thing.
Could still be an issue, though, because it is his American debut, and everybody knows that you've got to come to America to become a superstar.
You'd rather fight in a place where nobody knows who you are.
And our next fighter, Brad Pickett.
Looks like
you should know who this looks like. This is actually planned because he's taking it from somebody. Mauro, you're the big movie guy. You're the big celeb watcher here. Who is he trying to look like coming down there?
One Punch Mickey.
Great movie.
Brad Pitt's character from the movie Snatch, and of course he's from Britain, where Guy Ritchie resides with his wife Madonna.
Boy, you are just dropping names left and right here tonight, Mr.
It's the beautiful people are out in full force, but and obviously the nickname One Punch does come from the Brad Pitt characters you can see dressed in the. And this is what it's about, you guys. You have to have a showmanship.
Hey, shut up for a second. What? Did Brad Pitt wear capris? Because I don't think so. We got to talk to him.
I think he's going from waist up. Yeah,
Angelina Jolie may like him in capris.
He's calling One Punch Brad Pickett, but if you look, he loves to go to the ground, take this, and go after submissions. That's what he tries for.
He tries for arm bars
and knockouts. Absolutely, he tries for your arm bar, tries for the rear naked choke.
You just like saying shut up because you're bigger than me, eh?
Well, you know what? You're one of the only people in the world that still works for him.
Brad One Punch Pickett, of course, a member of the Cage Rage promotion, a former British featherweight champion for that group that's definitely making waves over in the UK. He's even fought for Bodog Fight, and now finds himself making his K1 debut here at Dynamite USA.
He loves to hanging and banging, buddy. But, like I said, like Glaze said, he's finished more fights with submission.
You talked before about the nerve, guys, and hey, this is such a big stage. Trust me, you'd rather fight in a place where nobody knows who the hell you are than in your own backyard like Johnny Moore did tonight, or like some of the Americans here tonight. There's a lot more pressure fighting in front of all the people that you made sure you got tickets for, all the people that you had to line up to get seats for and transportation for, and there's just so much garbage involved sometimes when you compete. Bill, like when you play football, I mean, it's just when you play in your hometown, it's a nightmare sometimes. Guys are calling you before the game.
All right, let's take you down to the tail of the tape for this upcoming battle here at Dynamite USA. Brad One Punch Pickett is 5'6", 154 pounds. Striking is his background. Hideo Tokoro is 5'7", 153 pounds with a grappling background. All right, here's Jimmy Lennon Jr. to introduce the combatants.
Big shout out to Jimmy L holding us down in that ring over there.
By the way, Hideo Tokoro is 29, just in case anyone was wondering out there. You single ladies or something? We didn't have the ages up there.
Don't look at me.
Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. We continue our mixed martial arts action as SoftBank presents Dynamite USA in association with Pro Elite. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we do present a lightweight attraction in the ring. It is scheduled 3 5-minute rounds of action coming your way. Before we begin, we present our judges scoring the action from ringside, all of them from California. We have Dr. Nelson Hamilton, Cecil Peoples, and Alejandro Rochin. And presenting at this time, our referee in charge of the action. He will be giving instructions after the introductions. We have Marcos Rosales. All right, fans, here we go. Once again, lightweights in the ring. We are scheduled 3 5-minute rounds. Introducing to you first on my right, fighting out of the blue corner, standing 5 feet 8 inches. He weighed in at 153 pounds. He's a veteran of 29 MMA bouts with a record of 17 wins, 11 losses, and 1 draw. 2 knockouts and 11 submissions to his credit. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us from Gifu, Japan, introducing Hideo Tokoro. And his opponent across the ring on my left, fighting out of the red corner, also standing 5 feet 8 inches. He weighed in at 154 pounds. His record stands at 10 wins, 3 losses, with 3 knockouts and 5 submissions to his credit. Joining us from London, England, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Brad One Punch Pickett.
Yeah. Come on. One punch. That's it. This is it. It's showtime.
Once again, a referee in charge, Marcos Rosales, now to give instructions.
Gentlemen, make sure you obey my commands at all times and protect yourself at all times. Touch him up. Let's have a good fight.
As you saw in Brad Pickett's corner, another MMA superstar, and that's really the wonderful thing about mixed martial arts. Doesn't matter what organization you fight for, you support the sport in general and just how small the world is. Coming from my hometown of Vancouver, Dennis Kang, the Pride Fighting Championships 183-pound superstar, and something tells me we'll be seeing more of him in the United States very soon.
It's a very small fraternity. Everybody sticks together and tries to elevate each other's game.
And it's nice to see a huge crowd on hand here tonight for K1 Dynamite USA in the great outdoors of Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. We are set for this swing bout between Brad One Punch Pickett and Hideo Tokoro. The 2 touch gloves. This fight is underway.
By the way, Mauro, I want to commend you. It only took you 2 hours to mention Canada.
Thank you very much, sir. Hey?
Don't say anything bad about Canada.
Nice low cut kick there by Tokoro. Bill Goldberg's wife from the wonderful province of Saskatchewan. Now Brad One Punch Pickett looking for that one punch here with Tokoro, but Tokoro again a well-rounded athlete, both standing and on the ground. Well, go! You never want to hesitate like that, Jay. You pay the price.
Absolutely. You can't let your guard down for a second.
Pickett's got to close that distance, get in there, land some shots, take him down, try to submit him.
I don't know how close he wants to get because of the wrestling background of Tokoro.
Well,
there's a shot by Tokoro, but nice inside trip takedown by Tokoro.
Trying to pass the side control right now. And goes right to
stacking up.
Nice.
Reversal, another reversal.
He got too high in trying to go for that mount.
Good sweep by Pickett, and now Tokoro going for the armbar, nicely escaped by Brad Pickett. As we see Tokoro now in the boots go position here, and obviously Pickett wants him to get back up on his feet. He obliges him.
Pickett's first fight here in the States, correct?
Brad Pickett fighting mainly for Cage Rage in the United Kingdom. We did see him also as part of Bodog Fight, another fledgling organization.
Tokoro stays in the pocket.
Those little body shots that he's trying to throw.
Yeah, you like to see a striker go for body shots.
You do, but he also has to make sure when...
Oh, there's an overhand right, but Tokoro's momentum takes him over. He's going for an E-bar right now.
E-bar, he's got it.
Now into a heel hook, perhaps. There it is, the inverted heel hook, and does he tap? No, good job by Pickett.
What Pickett has to do is exactly what he's doing. Try to throw that foot off and roll out of it.
Beautiful escape by Pickett. Finds himself in front side position.
Don't get too high, and that's what he's doing. He's getting too high.
North-south position. position now.
You cannot sacrifice position. That has to be the most important thing.
Beautiful now into cross side again, looking for the knee on belly perhaps, but Takoro on the bottom, also looking for the arm. Elbows are allowed to the body, no elbows or forearms to the head as decreed by the California State Athletic Commission. Midway through round one, scheduled for 3, into the closed guard now of Takoro.
That was a great job by Takoro there to get. He was in a very bad position, got himself in a good position.
Going underneath.
And it looks like he got it.
He's got it.
It's over. Brad Pickett submits to the armbar.
Tell you what, these guys are tacticians. You take it, you give it, and they'll take it.
Hideo Takoro, great job submitting Brad Pickett via armbar.
Guys, Pickett just got over-aggressive too often there, and he left himself open.
And there's Hideo Takoro receiving a hero's reception.
I thought we were going to see a crazy horseback flip, gentlemen.
Crazy Horse Bennett, of course, going to be on the show June 22nd. It's San Jose, California, EliteXC Strikeforce event, and what a card that is shaping up to be. Main event, Phil Baroni versus Frank Shamrock in a grudge match for the ages.
2 belts on the line that night, eh?
Hey.
Oh, you're picking up some of your wife's accent there.
I was just trying to be nice.
And there, Takoro getting congratulations from his cornerman, coming all the way across the Pacific to Dynamite USA, and picking up his 18th win.
We talked about being too aggressive there. Pickett leaving an arm open there. And it's interesting, though, guys. You could see why Takoro is a fan favorite. I'm going to take a quick replay here. You're going to see where he gets over aggressive here and pays for it. Now he thinks he actually lands a clean shot there, and he gets a little too sloppy there while Takoro's on the bottom going after a knee. He left the knee in a position he shouldn't have had it there. Changed it now to an ankle lock.
Going for the heel hook, and then there's the inverted heel hook, and now the closing moments, Bill Goldberg, as the arm bar secures the win.
Yeah, goes right for it, takes it away. I mean, that was an immediate submission. He had
but it's almost like he gave it to him there.
Yeah.
You know, it's almost like he didn't really know the position he should be in. His arm was right there. It was a no-brainer to take.
That's the same thing I saw with Manhole.
Represents rings. And let's go now to Jimmy Lennon Jr. as he announces the winner.
Gentlemen, we have the time of 2 minutes 41 seconds in round number 1. An armbar once again ends this contest as the fighter taps out. He is the winner by way of submission from Gifu, Japan, Hideo Takoro.
And to present the trophy, the biggest rock star in Japan.
2 minutes 41 seconds of the opening round. It's Hideo Takoro winning by submission via armbar.
Yoshiki!
Hello again, everyone. I'm Mauro Ranallo, and we are getting set for 2 big mixed martial arts fights, which should provide all the action and excitement that MMA fans have come to expect. Now, first up, it's the rematch of a fight often called one of the biggest in MMA history, as Japan's Kazushi Sakuraba faces off with Brazil's Royce Gracie. Now, in 2000, when they fought in Japan for Pride Fighting, their 90-minute bout was thought to be once in a lifetime. But tonight, lightning strikes again, as the 2 MMA legends do it one more time here in Los Angeles. And we have the pleasure of bringing you the MMA debut of a multi-skilled, multi-dimensional athlete, Brock Lesnar. This wrestling superstar has grand plans to expand his athletic success, and it starts tonight as he enters the ring against Korean Olympian Min-soo Kim. Now we are joined by Bill Goldberg one more time, and Bill, obviously good friends with Brock Lesnar, similar backgrounds. What do you expect from the big man in his MMA debut tonight?
First of all, I'm shaking for Brock right now. I know he's got to be nervous. But Brock is not the normal professional wrestler. Brock is a guy who went 106-5 in amateur wrestling in college. Brock is a guy who can pick up myself weighing 300 pounds, press him over their head many, many times. Pick up, the Giant, the Big Show. Brock is a guy who is an unbelievable athlete. So this is not just some professional wrestler making his jump into the MMA world.
Does Min-soo Kim, the Olympian, stand a chance, Bill, in your estimation?
Oh, absolutely. Min-soo Kim stands a chance because of his background. Great judo player. What he has to do is call on his experience, the fact that he has been in the ring before, and he has to use Lesnar's aggression against him.
All right, also Jay Glazer, active mixed martial artist in your own right. And Jay, obviously we are waiting for this rematch, 7 years in the making. Royce Gracie versus Kazushi Sakuraba, your thoughts?
Royce Gracie is the reason why I got into mixed martial arts. You're in this field, you're in this field. Every single person sitting inside this stadium tonight would not know about the world of mixed martial arts if Royce Gracie and the Gracie family didn't bring Gracie Jiu-Jitsu here to America in the early days of the Ultimate Fighting Championship. And what that did is that exploded it onto the scene, and then it became international. And you know what happened after that? Eventually somebody had to pass the baton. The Gracies had to pass the baton to somebody, and it got passed to Kazushi Sakuraba.
All right, it has been 7 years in the making. It is the fight we've been waiting for, as MMA pioneer Royce Gracie looks to avenge his family's honor against the man known as the Gracie Hunter, Kazushi Sakuraba.
These historic fighters are about to make history again.
I'm looking forward to fight him. It's been 7 years.
I'm sure we've both grown as fighters in the last 7 years.
This fight started much the same as any other, but by the time it had finished, 90 minutes later, history had been made. It wasn't the favored fighter, Gracie, who had won, but Sakuraba. And with this one bout, he put the fighting world on notice.
I'd forgotten about it. We're not going 90 minutes again, do you think? That was rough.
He's been waiting 7 years for this moment, and now he's putting the family name on the line for his chance at revenge.
I have a good idea how to beat him. Can't wait to do it again.
Will he get his revenge or go down trying? Although their reasons for fighting are different, they've proven they're well matched. Today, new history will be made.
Sakuraba, we had a good fight 7 years ago. Let's do another historical one.
I don't want to fight unlimited rounds this time. We aren't getting any younger. Can we clean this up quickly?
Kazushi Sakuraba versus Royce Gracie.
Let me introduce you to our first fighter in this bout. Give it up for Royce Gracie!
In 1993, in the first ever UFC event, this man showed the world just how potent Gracie Jiu-Jitsu was. That night revolutionized the sport of fighting and helped ensure the Gracie legacy would become one for the ages. Bill Goldberg, Royce Gracie, is back in K1 Dynamite USA, looking to again avenge the honor of his family. His father, Elio Gracie, sitting at ringside. What's it going to take for Royce to reclaim that honor against Kazushi Sakuraba?
I tell you what, he's going to have to dictate the pace of the fight. I mean, we all know that they're two totally different fighters. And Gracie, I mean, any of the Gracies, when they play it into their own game, they usually come out victorious.
Guys, I tell you what, watching this, Royce Gracie, Kazushi Sakuraba, this is like, for anybody out there who doesn't know the history here in MMA, this is Red Sox Yankees, this is Bulls against Pistons, this is Cowboys against the Eagles. This is as big a rivalry, a historical rivalry in the history of MMA as there is in sports.
You know, you said it best. If it wasn't for the Gracie family, none of us would be here.
Thunderous applause for Royce Gracie, the UFC Hall of Famer. And again, what a lineage, what a pedigree. Elio Gracie many, many years ago, having his arms broken by the Japanese star Kimura, where the name comes from for the arm lock. But tonight, he is here in the United States, hoping to watch his son reclaim some of that lost legacy at the hands of the man, the only guy to beat 4 members of the Gracies.
And for the most part, all the people who are now practitioners in the world of MMA, they're into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but not just Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Gracie Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
You know, it was last year, Bill, that we saw a symbolic passing of the torch. Royce Gracie going back to the UFC, losing to Matt Hughes. But tonight, it's not about really wins or losses or looking to improve your record. It's about family. It's about respect. It's about making sure that Royce Gracie wants to remain at the top of the food chain when it comes to the pioneers of the sport.
And doing the interviews the other day, Glazer and I asked Gracie, we said, why do you do it? So, you know, with all the young guys coming up, why are you still in it? And he goes, that's why. Because I can put it in their face because I can still do it.
Right, he says, show me something that you think I can't do, and I'll do it. I'll prove you wrong.
Let's now go to the keys to victory for the man himself, Royce Gracie.
Okay, Royce has definitely got to dictate the pace, like I said. He's got to get positioned for submission, and he has to avoid stand-up exchanges with Sakuraba.
And really, Jay, that's the one thing. The Gracies, have they evolved enough in the stand-up game? We've seen guys come along, Rodrigo Gracie, Crossley Gracie, but Royce, we've yet to see.
Some of them have. We don't know if Royce has. We saw Royce against Matt Hughes take him on. Obviously, Matt Hughes overwhelmed him. The pure strength of a guy like Matt Hughes. Sakuraba doesn't have that strength, though.
And from Japan, Kazushi Sakuraba.
And there it is, that familiar theme that I grew to love. With Pride Fighting Championships, he is a legend in his native Japan, and for over 7 years, he was Pride Fighting Championships. The only man to ever defeat 4 members of the Von and Gracie family, Kazushi Sakuraba hopes to add another winning chapter to his storybook career. And Bill, you ask about the hood, the mask. You know his background. Grew up a pro wrestling fan, was a professional wrestler, and showed that professional wrestlers can indeed be successful in mixed martial arts. This is a moment that we will always remember, guys. This is it. The rematch, the bookend, if you will. Sakuraba, Gracie 2, here in Los Angeles, California.
And, you know, you never know. You got to look at Sakuraba's the condition of his body. This could be his last match ever.
And there are many of us who hope that it is his last fight. Let's face it, Jay, he has nothing more to prove.
Absolutely. You know, your body breaks down after all the beatings he's taken. But, guys, this is Ali Frazier. It's what this is. And eventually, you wanted Muhammad Ali. You wanted Joe Frazier to hang it up because you had so much respect for them, for the way of the warrior. Same thing with Kazushi Sakuraba.
He went to war not once, not twice, but 3 times with former Pride World Champion in the middleweight division, Wanderlei Silva. He's taken on literally everybody the sport has to offer. Here he is, Kazushi Sakuraba, making what may be his final trip to a ring.
And if you see also, he's wearing a jacket from the Shoot the Box Academy down there in Brazil. The likes of Wanderlei Silva, who absolutely brutalized Kazushi Sakuraba over there in Pride. And he went down there and started working out with the people who have defeated him.
There goes the mask.
And again, he usually wore masks like Tiger Mask Original, Satoru Sayama. He's paid homage to the Road Warriors in the past, Big Van Vader. Tonight, again, just showing what he's all about. It's about his multi-layers, if you will, Bill. Maybe going through a sort of symbolic ceremony here, Jay, showing that throughout the years he's shown many different sides, and tonight we are hoping to see another classic encounter. They're not going to go 90 minutes tonight, but they are hoping to put it all on the line one more time. Kazushi Sakuraba and Royce Gracie, can you feel it, my friends?
Oh, I can feel it, and here in about 10-15 minutes, both of these guys are going to feel it too, because it's been 7 years since they went at it.
And talking to both guys about the rematch, both Royce Gracie and Kazushi Sakuraba try and insist we don't care about the rematch. That does not matter. I mean, we don't care about the first fight. It doesn't matter to us. All we care about is this Saturday night, this fight coming up here. They take the pass and they block it out.
And you can hear, guys, we've had many great fights tonight, great crowd support, but the atmosphere in the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum right now is absolutely electric. And it's because they're here to pay homage, they're here to pay their respects to guys who put it on the line each and every fight. This is what mixed martial arts is all about. The Sakurabas, the Gracies of the world, those critics, the ignoramuses who want mixed martial arts banned and everything else, you know what they have to do? They have to have their heads examined by a proctologist, because this sport is here to stay, my friends, thanks to fighters like this.
Well, those guys are the ones that put it on the cover of Sports Illustrated this last month, too.
And there he is finally. We get to see the man himself, Kazushi Gracie Hunter Sakuraba. Let's take you now to the keys to victory for the man himself.
All right, first off, guys, Kazushi Sakuraba has to finish. Don't punish. He told us the other day he took that fight 6 rounds, 90 minutes, because he wanted to punish Royce Gracie. He wanted to hear him verbally tap. However, what he should do is still take a page from the past. He did a lot of low leg kicks, continue to do the same thing. And number 3, stay off the ground. Obviously, that's where the strength of Royce Gracie is. Make sure you keep that fight standing up.
All right, let's take you now to the tail of the tape for this historic encounter. Chapter 2 for Sakuraba and Gracie. Kazushi Sakuraba is 38, 6 feet tall, 187 pounds, submission wrestling background. Royce Gracie, 40 years of age, the Hall of Famer, 6'1", 188 pounds, and yes, he's all about Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. And now let's take you to the rules of combat for EliteXC Dynamite USA. 3 judges score the fight based equally on striking, grappling, effective aggression, and ring control. There's a 10-point must system. No elbows or forearms to the head. No knees to the head of a downed opponent. Referee or doctor can stop the fight. And now let's take you once again to Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, SoftBank presents Dynamite USA in association with Pro Elite and this much-anticipated rematch special attraction. Our judges scoring this bout from ringside from Florida, Richard Bertrand. From California, Nelson Hamilton. And also from California, Cecil Peoples. And our third man of the ring, our referee in charge of this bout, is Mario Yamasaki. All right, fans, here we go with a long-awaited rematch of one of the most acclaimed MMA bouts in the history of the sport. The rematch of legends, scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. Introducing to you first on my right, fighting out of the blue corner, standing 6 feet 1 inch. He weighed in at 188 pounds. As a pioneer of Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, his MMA record stands at 13 wins, 3 losses, and 3 draws, with 12 submissions to his credit. He represents the first family of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, now fighting out of Los Angeles, California. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the K1 and Pride veteran, the 3-time UFC champion, a true legend of mixed martial arts, introducing the one and only Royce Gracie. And his opponent across the ring on my left, fighting out of the red corner. Standing 6 feet even, he weighed in at 187 pounds. The longtime master of submission wrestling, his record stands at 21 wins, 9 losses and 1 draw, 3 knockouts and 14 submissions to his credit. With 4 victories over the Gracie family fighters, he is known as the Gracie Hunter. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the popular and entertaining legend of MMA from Akita, Japan, introducing Kazushi Sakuraba. And ladies Ladies and gentlemen, a referee in charge, Mauro Yamasaki, now to give instructions, 3 5-minute rounds.
Okay, gentlemen, I want you guys to do a clean fight. Follow my orders at all times. No elbows to the head whatsoever, okay? You have any question? You have any question? Good luck. Touch glove.
The Gracie family, it's been well documented, has taken on Kazushi Sakuraba 4 times, has come up short all 4 times. Sakuraba's defeated Hoyler, Royce, Renzo, and then Hyen. And now, Royce Gracie, perhaps for the final time, will get a chance to avenge the family honor. His father, the patriarch, Elio Gracie, is at ringside. Chapter 2 is underway.
Here we go, gentlemen. History in the making.
Again, it's also been well documented the myriad battles that Sakuraba has been through. There was even question whether or not he would be medically cleared for this fight. But you know that if it's up to him, knowing what's at stake, you know that he would have to literally be incapacitated for him not to be here tonight. And Jay, really, in this situation with the stand-up, obviously Sakuraba has to have the edge.
Absolutely. You see that low leg kick you just threw? That dictated their first fight. But in their first fight...
And Sakuraba already rocks Gracie with a right hand, and Gracie now being stacked by Sakuraba, Bill.
Yeah, standing on their feet, there's no question Sakuraba has the advantage. But, you know, down here, it's kind of a toss-up.
Well, Gracie definitely taking matters into his own hands, striking from the bottom. But don't discount the submission skills of Sakuraba. Has a hold of that right leg. Now some up kicks here.
Yeah, those up kicks. He made those famous years ago.
For people who really aren't familiar with the MMA world, where Royce Gracie is right now, folks, that's where he wants to be. That's where he is most dangerous.
And this is similar to the Antonio Inoki-Muhammad Ali battle in 1976, the first mixed martial arts fight of the modern era, if you will. And we saw Inoki stay like voices right now in that crab position, just delivering kick after kick.
And Hoyler did the same thing when these two guys fought as well.
And Sakuraba seems to be okay with it, not backing up, not wanting Royce Gracie to get up on his feet yet. And watch out for one of those dazzling cartwheel passes. This guy knows how to put on a show.
Double hammer fist, cartwheel pass. Something is up his sleeve for sure.
Might even pull out a Mongolian chop. Big famous by Hiroyoshi Tenzan there, Bill.
You know, he could pull out the iron claw, too.
I think somebody should pull out DJ's microphone. You know, people, again, in America, they're still, the education process is evolving. They're booing because they're not seeing the blood. I mean, this is a chess game. This is Royce Gracie in his domain. Kazushi Sakuraba willing to engage, looking to pass that guard of his, looking to pass the position.
How many times do you think Gracie has been in this position? How many times has it run through his head what he was going to do when he got this rematch with Sakuraba?
Although, again, to be fair, we are finally hearing from the referee, Mauro Yamasaki, and Jay, again, it's kind of a give-and-take battle. The fans did pay to see a fight, and now here we go. Sakuraba now inside control.
And they pay to see an MMA event.
That's true. I do agree with the fact that I would never boo any of these athletes, but yeah, they want to see action. They're getting it now as Sakuraba is looking for the arm, but you can see that Royce is doing a good job now of securing that right arm of Sakuraba's.
One of the things you see both of these guys, they fought a 90-minute fight last time, and Royce Gracie told us the other day, 5-minute rounds, I can hold my breath for 5 minutes. Who cares?
You can see Gracie there positioning that leg, not allowing Sakuraba to try to maybe grab the back. And you see Sakuraba then immediately escape that. And in his corner tonight, by the way, the patriarch of the Vonage Shooter Box Academy, Hujimar Fedrigo, the man who's guided the careers of Vanderlei Silva, Mauricio Shogun Hua, Marilla Ninja Hua. I mean, some of the best fighters in the sport. He is in Sakuraba's corner tonight.
These guys know each other very, very well.
And Mauro, look what he's going for right there. How vintage of that is Kazushi Sakuraba. He's done it to a couple different Gracies.
The standing Kimura, and Gracie now has him along the ropes. It'll be interesting to see how long the referee allows it to stay in this position.
You know, what is interesting is Kazushi Sakuraba goes down there to shoot the box, try to learn from those guys, get a little bit more, versus some Muay Thai, some of the aggressive nature that they have down there in Brazil. But this is the same old Kazushi Sakuraba. There is nothing different about him here than there was 7 years ago.
And Gracie showing some striking there with the right hand, looking to maybe go for a takedown judo type throw here with Kazushi Sakuraba. And really, guys, this is mixed martial arts. This is the game of chess. Looking at the nuances, it's not all about just swinging for the fences and going for the knockout. These guys are master craftsmen. Yes, they're in the twilight of their careers, but they are still two of the very best.
And this is exactly where Sakuraba wants to be. He does not want to be engaged and locked up there with Wood. Stay at the end there, use those kicks.
But I got to say, look at Sakuraba's legs. You think the up kicks, you think the kicks while Gracie was on his back did no effect. He's definitely got some bruising there for sure. And later on in the fight, that could play into it.
End of 1 round. Sakuraba, Gracie 2. And there we have Sakuraba's corner. There's Ujimar Pedrigo just standing up in the corner. And Jay, take us through the replay here. Anytime, Jay.
Kazushi Sakuraba immediately puts him down and tries to swarm. But the one thing you have, whenever you have a guy like Royce Gracie, look how relaxed he is down there. He just sits there, doesn't panic, and realizes, hey, I'm fine. I'm just going to try and lock up something here.
Yeah, he waits for you to come into his territory.
Waits for you to come into his
and latches on you like a snake. Here comes Sakuraba jumping on him again.
But look, he lands nothing. He lands absolutely nothing. The defense of a guy like Royce Gracie is, at times when he's on his game, impenetrable.
Here's Gracie finally making his way back to his feet. Sakuraba going for the Kimura. The ropes playing a little part in the action tonight.
Back to your corner. Back to your corner. Ready?
These guys are definitely used to fighting in the ropes, though.
It's interesting also, guys, because they can get, especially Sakuraba's used to a 10-minute first round. There's a whole different pace when you go 5-minute first round here. I think he was almost taken aback, like, oh, it's already done.
Helio Gracie in the corner of Royce Gracie, taking in the action now as he's moved closer to ringside. And you can see Kazushi Sakuraba with his stance now in a southpaw stance, as is Royce Gracie. Misses with the kick, though, does Sakuraba. And again, this chess match continues, this feeling out process, just making sure every move counts. And there's a good takedown defense by Royce Gracie, and Sakuraba just shucks him off.
What kind of respect do you guys have for these two athletes who have been around so long and had so many absolutely wonderful fights, so many deadly fights, and they're still here in 2007 showing us how it's done?
Like I said, it's like Ali Frazier, guys. I'll say this too. Royce has done a very good job of changing up his range from the last fight. He's not gotten kicked over and over repeatedly in that lead leg from Sakuraba.
Gracie now attacking the lead leg of the southpaw stance of Kazushi Sakuraba. It's already bandaged up, so obviously Royce Gracie doing whatever it takes to make sure that he wears down the veteran from Japan, Kazushi Sakuraba. Now Gracie shoots out a jab. Gracie mixing it up with his feet and his kicks.
It's like tonight Sakai is going to be a counter puncher.
He's also just going for like the one-punch knockout. He's not really mixing up. Usually he'll mix up strikes, kick, punch, kick. He'll mix them up in combinations, and Mauro, he has not done that yet.
No, and right now some pummeling going on with Gracie and Sakuraba. And again, Gracie, at 40 years of age, has had limited experience, if you really think about it, in mixed martial arts. He's 13-3, 12 submissions. You take a look at Kazushi Sakuraba, he's 21-9-1 with, some of the most epic wars you will ever see. So, obviously, the condition of their bodies, even though Gracie's 2 years older than him, I would venture to say that Gracie's in better physical shape than Kazushi Sakuraba, because Sakuraba has spilled the blood and guts.
He has taken beatings from guys like Vanderlei Silva. We all know what Kazushi Sakuraba has gone through, what his body's gone through. And you're right, Royce Gracie, he has been, obviously a lot more sporadic after the early days of the UFC.
We interviewed Sakai the other day. He could barely even move his neck, so I can only imagine how he's feeling.
And he does have a problem with getting some of the blood flow, down, back up to his brain or down that spine. So the damage that's been done throughout the years, yes, you commend the guy for getting in here, without a doubt. You also see the toll that it takes on you. Guys like you, ex-football players, you talk about it all the time.
Gracie is attacking the leg of Sakuraba, wearing down the lead leg, and from the southpaw stance, that's where he will derive all his power. So obviously Gracie, a method to the madness, and this is a guy who by the time he was 8 years old was competing in tournaments, and maybe some of the fans don't like what they see, maybe they're fans of Sakuraba, but Royce Gracie is doing what he needs to do to curry favor with the judges, attacking the lead leg of Sakuraba.
You know, it's not doing a lot. If you see what's happening, Sakuraba, every time he takes it, he lifts his leg back up. It's not doing an awful lot there.
Except for the fact that there is a reason why Sakai's wearing that sleeve on that
But he
leg.
always has worn, he's worn something on that leg
Exactly.
for a long, long time. Yeah, you attack whatever is there for you.
When you're not 100%, every little bit counts, and nice takedown defense, and there's a tie clinch.
There's the shoot box.
Shooter box. Sakuraba now trying to deliver knees to Royce Gracie.
That's exactly what we talk about. Shoot box, Vanderlei Silva. That's classic Vanderlei Silva. That's why he went to Brazil, to change up and get a little extra in his game.
And Gracie doing a good job, though, of staving off the takedowns, and now fighting off the ropes here.
But Billy, remember what Gracie said to us also 2 days ago? Is he said, hey, I know who he's been training with. I know what kind of fighter he is. I know what to expect. So he has been expecting.
There's with the body lock, looking for the takedown, but again, Gracie gets to his feet.
Well, tacticians, they're 2 or 3 moves of each other, moves ahead of each other.
You think a lot of it, guys, is these guys constantly thinking 2 or 3 steps ahead, almost respecting each other too much?
There's definitely a sense of respect, but again, we have to say, what did people expect? These guys, in the twilight of their careers, they're not going to deliver. Even their epic 90-minute battle, there's a reason they went 90 minutes. They are tacticians. They are methodical. They utilize their strengths. You're not going to see a stand-up war in this fight. This is mixed martial arts.
And I don't care. You don't boo these 2 guys. You don't boo, Brett Favre in his last game or his last year. You don't boo Lou Gehrig and guys like that. You
can see the respect even after round 2. They hug each other, and the fans,
people booing.
Well, they have the right to, I guess, do what they can. It is America. They can do what they want. But again, this is, I don't know what they were expecting. And there's Royce Gracie in his brother's corner, and we were talking about it. Royce being one of 9 siblings, 7 brothers and 2 sisters. They're speaking Portuguese, but let's listen in. Maybe we can pick something up. There's a wide shot again. Big crowd in attendance here at the LA Memorial Coliseum for Dynamite USA, one of the 2 co-main events, Sakuraba, Gracie 2.
I tell you what we do need for this fight, guys. Unlimited rounds.
You'd have a riot with this crowd.
yeah, unfortunately.
There's a takedown
There you see
defense.
some of the knee work.
Good takedown defense and goes right into the shoot box style, trying to get those knees, knee to face.
Third and final round. They touch gloves, and the fans now showing their respect, knowing that this could be the final 5 minutes or less. They see Sakuraba versus Gracie, and really for Kazushi Sakuraba, how much more do either of these men have to accomplish? They're putting it on the line here for the fans in Dynamite USA, the first ever K1 event in the United States.
Royce's kicks actually look pretty good, guys. I got to tell you what, he's keeping them at bay, and he's using that, I think, more for his own defense.
And this time now, Gracie pulls him into a half butterfly guard there, now in a half guard.
Make no mistake about it, folks. Sakuraba did not take Gracie down. Gracie took him where he wanted to go.
And look at this maneuvering now for the Kimura, looking to pop that right arm out. Busy with the hips, and this is where Gracie is at his most comfortable.
And Sakuraba has to make sure he takes that hand and he keeps it on his inner thigh. If he has a hold of it in his inner thigh, you can sit here for days with that. But Royce, the Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, always has something up his sleeve.
There's the Gracie family in the corner. Elio Gracie looking on.
These guys, it's unbelievable watching them on the ground. You hear some people boo. And like Mauro, you said, they have the right to do that, but it's a beautiful thing watching these guys.
And this is the kinetic chess, and really it's not about physical strength, Jay, and you can address that because it's about the movement of your body. They say, like Bruce Lee said, it's about water, the flow. You go with what your opponent gives you, and again, it really is the cliche of the chess match. And right now, we're seeing that battle on the ground that we expected between Sakuraba and Gracie. And now Sakuraba again looking to position for a standing Kimura, but you know that Gracie is already thinking 2 steps ahead.
And with guys like this, it's not about strength. In fact, it's the opposite, folks. It's about staying relaxed. If you stay relaxed, 9 out of 10 times you're going to be able to get out of whatever submission attempt they try to do.
You know what, Bill? If you use the boxing analogy, you don't want to come in all jacked up. You know, all the muscular.
The more you tense up, the more the lactic acid builds up, and obviously the slower you get, and the more tired you get.
And Hoist should start. I'm sorry, Bill. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Hoist should start. You see that knee behind the thigh right there, Sakuraba? He should just start unloading that knee on Sakuraba's thigh, because it's going to get Sakuraba to let go of his wrist.
Midway through the final round. Sakuraba now in a waist lock there by Gracie and Mario Yamasaki, the referee. Breaking them up momentarily, but allowing them to resume. And you could see Sakuraba really just relaxed and just talking to Gracie. And, okay, well, you know what? You are still in a fight. You've got to fight. This time, I do agree with the fans there, Jay, because really, Sakuraba shouldn't just relax there and start talking. I mean,
it actually looked like.
And really, if I were the referee, I'd break these guys up and just restart in the center of the ring. There's nothing going on along the ropes.
Hoist is trying to do now, he wants to make sure his arm doesn't go back there, but get over top, try and work for a choke, try and do something, but again, you have that knee right there.
And now Gracie starting to punch him from behind.
It's all catch and glove though, Mauro. It's just
you're right, but I mean, just to see him at least try that is impressive. There he tags him, but I don't know why Sakuraba's not trying to turn into him. Sakuraba's simply just cold, and now he's talking. Maybe he's hurt, guys. Maybe he's trying to voice something. He's talking to someone.
Okay, let's actually, I'm going to separate you guys.
You really wonder what's going on.
Now, there's something up with Kazushi Sakuraba, because he's literally just sitting there past him now, and he's been talking to somebody. And the referee right now, again, into the final minute and 10 seconds. We need action here. There's some shoulder strikes.
I think at this point, it looks like Sakuraba is content right now with just hanging on and surviving.
He's looking to his corner, and again, look at that.
And Hoyt's still trying to take it to him. Hoyt is still trying to get position to try and go for a takedown, take it somewhere.
Sakuraba's not doing anything. The final 40 seconds, the fans now, they want to see a fantastic finish. Are Sakuraba and Gracie going to give it to them? They have nothing else left to prove. 30 seconds, let's make it memorable.
I tell you what, Hoist has to be careful with those takedown attempts, because what Sakuraba trying to do is throw knees to the head. If you're coming down there, you can meet one of those knees. That's not what Hoist wants to do.
Sakuraba's kind of frozen here, guys. I don't understand.
And thankfully, guys, none of us are judges, but I do believe with 10 seconds remaining, as wait a minute, Sakuraba now going, perhaps for an armbar. I was just going to say, Gracie appears to have avenged his family honor here tonight as they go the distance at Dynamite USA.
Sometimes when you have two technical masters, that counters out. That counters out your strength of both fighters, and you leave it up to what's secondary and even third in your game.
Dennis Rodman wondering what happened in that fight as well. There's Hujimar Fedrigo, Hoyler Gracie, and there's Hujimar now embracing Hoist Gracie. And again, Hujimar Fedrigo, not enough could be said about the patriarch of the Shooter Box Academy in Curitiba, Brazil. And a big love fest there in the ring now as Hoist Gracie appears, if you look at his face, that he seems to have won this fight now. Kazushi Sakuraba, it's too bad, you know, we can't understand what he's saying, because I really wonder what happened in that final round, guys. He's not one to just quit.
Yeah, I don't know, guys. I don't know if it was an injury, if he got frustrated.
I think he was just saying there should be 2 more rounds, is what it looked like he was trying to say.
Should be kind of 10 more rounds with them. Let them fight until they drop. You know, who do you...
And there he is, the new UFC light heavyweight champion, styling and profiling. Look at the Pimp Daddy, Rampage Jackson in the house.
Man, it ain't cold enough for a fur coat. Rampage.
Got the new grill going for him, really a guy who deserves it, you guys. That man could be the most marketable athlete the sport has, as we now go back to the action.
You see there, again, people at home probably thought, well, Hoist Gracie went for a takedown, get on top. That's not what happened. He went early to get in his positioning where he wants to be, which is on his back, bring him into his guard. Watch this, Sakuraba trying to take control from behind, going for an arm, attacking that arm. perhaps thinking maybe there could be an opportunity for a rear naked choke, but that's not going to happen against Royce Gracie.
A lot of MMA guys in that position that Gracie's in would really flip out, but you see him relax, you see him take it step by step, and here he finally gets some shots in, although it's to the palm of Sakuraba, but one or two of them get by and put a little damage in there, and then you see the conversation starting. So I really don't know what was up.
Guys, Royce Gracie went after this fight. Kazushi Sakuraba, a little different story.
Let's take you now to Jimmy Lennon Jr. for the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we have a unanimous decision. Here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, Cecil Peoples, scores about 30-27. Judges Nelson Hamilton and Richard Bertrand both scored about 29-28. All three in favor of the winner, Royce Gracie.
And the Gracie corner explodes, and how good is it, you guys? His dad is in the ring, Elio Gracie. This is it. The family honor has been avenged.
Look at Helio. That's
he's the father.
That's full circle right there.
Right
guys.
there he is, man, and unbelievable at his age. Still very spry, still very much a factor with the Gracie family. What a picture it is right there. The father and the son, the Gracie legacy. And there's what a picture that is with Kazushi Sakuraba as well.
And folks, believe it or not, that old man right there will whip all of us sitting at this table in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu right now to this day.
Royce Gracie victorious as he defeats Kazushi Sakuraba 7 years after their epic encounter in Japan. All right, well, taking this fight on short notice, Korea's Min-soo Kim will step into the eye of an F5 hurricane known as Brock Lesnar. Although used to pressure as an Olympic medalist, he's never faced the ominous presence that Lesnar will bring to the ring tonight.
He's made his move to MMA.
I don't have any fears.
Now he wants to prove he's got what it takes.
What's the biggest difference between professional wrestling and MMA? MMA is real and wrestling is fake. For anybody that doesn't know that, you're living in a cave.
Brock left pro wrestling behind to try his skills in the real ring.
And now, hopefully, you'll see me as a professional fighter.
He's shown he's tough by becoming an NCAA champion, but MMA is a world where only the toughest survive, and that's why he's here.
I want to fight. That's the reason for it. I want to fight. I want to fight for real.
Now, Lesnar's got his sights set on one of the biggest targets in the game.
I want to have fun out there while I'm fighting. I've been practicing for this.
Korean hero Min-soo Kim. He was a judo silver medalist in the Atlanta Olympics. His first-rate submissions can turn the tables of a fight in the blink of an eye. But not only can he grapple, his boxing skills will knock you on your back.
You're finished. I'm going to show you how it's done here in the ring.
An American wrestling champion versus a Korean judo superstar.
I don't have any fears.
Brock Lesnar versus Min-soo Kim.
Brock's.
Our first fighter in this battle from Korea, Min-soo Kim.
After ascending to the top of the judo mountain, culminating with a silver medal in the '96 Olympics, Korea's Min-soo Kim has found the MMA world to be much tougher. What he does bring to tonight's main event is the hopes of an entire nation, and there is a huge Korean contingent in attendance here tonight for this fight.
Min-soo Kim here, guys. I got to tell you what. I know he's very, very experienced on an international stage. Bill, you know Brock Lesnar better than Mauro, better than myself. I don't think he has any idea the world that he's about to meet right now.
You know, I know Brock. I know him in a different capacity. I know Brock as a wrestler. I know Brock as a professional wrestler. I know Brock as a man. He's a stand-up guy. I can tell you one thing. He's one of the strongest, one of the toughest guys that I have ever met.
It was interesting in talking yesterday to Min-soo Kim. He didn't seem like he really cared. He didn't really know much about Brock Lesnar.
He knew nothing about Brock Lesnar.
Didn't seem to care about Brock Lesnar and started to realize, well, I've been in with some big guys myself. Big guys, yeah, but not big, unbelievably aggressive guys.
The 1996 Olympic silver medalist in judo. Again, having a tough run of it thus far in MMA, but he's also been in with Ray Sefo, Bob Sapp, and there he is, a man who was supposed to face Brock Lesnar in the main event, part of Min-soo Kim's entourage, the Techno Goliath, the very taunting 7 foot 2 inches tall of Hongman Choi.
Totally different, you know. Brock Lesnar also at first he had to get ready for a kickboxer who is 7'2", like we talked about, and now a much different frame of a human being in Min-soo Kim, a foot shorter and 100 pounds lighter.
You know, Brock, make that Bill. I called you Brock there for a second, buddy.
All right.
Wow.
I'm a lot older.
Sorry about that. Now, he does have a sub-500 record, does Min-soo Kim, but look at his losses to the likes of Bob Sapp, Ray Sefo, Sammy Schilk, Don Fry.
Well, yeah, there's no question. He's been in there with some monsters. He's been in there with some guys who are legends. Now he steps in the ring with a guy who's a definite unknown, a guy who's making his MMA debut, just like a Johnny Morton, one of the biggest stages you can have.
Let me show the keys to victory here for Min-soo Kim. First of all, you know what, guys? He's in a catch-22 because the only place he can win this is if he gets it on the ground, goes for a submission. But I don't think you want to get close to Brock Lesnar. He's got to figure that out. Number 2, exploit Lesnar's aggression. Brock will probably come out, go crazy out there, which could leave an arm, could leave an opening. And number 3, Mauro, you just talked about it. He has the experience, and in this game, sometimes experience is everything.
Now, I know this is a mixed martial arts battle, Bill, but with Hongman Choi in the corner, not going to be a run-in or anything, is there?
I'm right here, buddy.
And from the U.S., Brock Lesnar!
He was the most sought-after free agent in the sport of mixed martial arts. The former collegiate wrestling champion Brock Lesnar chose to make his initial mark in the world of MMA with tonight's K1 Dynamite USA. Known as the next big thing in professional wrestling, he very well could become just that in mixed martial arts, Bill.
You know what, man? It's just, we're going to see tonight. There's no question about it. I mean, Brock is not a guy to turn down competition. Brock is a guy that never played collegiate football. Brock is a guy who quit professional wrestling at the top of his career. The last time he wrestled was with a guy named Goldberg. Okay, so I know. He quit both of those to go and try his he wanted to be a professional football player. Okay, now who tries to be a professional football player with no collegiate experience? A guy who wants to complete a dream.
And even after he did get released, the Minnesota Vikings still wanted to send him to NFL Europe because they saw the aggression of this guy, the strength of this guy. There could be something there.
You opened up an interesting can of worms, Mr. Goldberg. We were talking about the crowd and some of the reaction during the Sakuraba-Gracie fight. Any memories of WrestleMania 20 MSG, your last fight with Brock Lesnar?
You know what? It was an honor, man. It was an honor. I worked for a company that I'll never give credit for, that I can tell you, but to have my last match at Madison Square Garden and to be wrestling a guy who's such a stand-up guy like Brock Lesnar, man, it was awesome.
Now, Billy, would you ever get in there and take on a guy like this in an MMA event?
You know how many times that question's been asked of me, and I'm 40 years old, man. I mean, let's be perfectly honest.
You don't look a day over 39 and a half.
You know what? I'm old, man. I may co-own a Muay Thai school, and I may have been training for years and years and years. but my body has been through absolute hell.
Yeah.
I got to tell you. And you know what? 10 years ago and 15 years ago and 20 years ago, if I didn't choose to go the way that I went, I'll be damned if you could keep me out of that ring.
And this is why Brock Lesnar is doing this, folks. The way Bill feels right now, it's just because age and injuries have caught up. Well, that's not the case for Brock. And we sat there with Brock 2 days ago. We said, why did you do this? And he said, this is the time for me to do it. I don't have to worry about money. I want to go out there and try and be the best in something that nobody else will do.
He's about to enter the ring of reality. What are the keys to victory for Brock Lesnar?
Well, first and foremost, Brock has got to stay mentally focused. He's on a big stage here. He's trying something he's never tried before, and he's got to go in there calm, collective, and figure out what to do step by step. He's got to secure the takedown. Being 106-5, an amateur wrestler, and being as big and strong as he is, he's got to take it to the ground. And when he gets it to the ground, he's got to start the ground and pound and finish with putting that guy's face in the end of the mat.
Longtime fan of MMA. And now finally making his debut after training for more than years, we take you to the tail of the tape for this main event at Dynamite USA. Brock Lesnar's 29'6'2", 262 pounds with a background in wrestling. Min-soo Kim is 32, 6'1", 255 pounds, was a judo medalist at the 96 Olympics. Let's take you now to Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum for the featured bout of the evening as SoftBank presents Dynamite USA in association with Pro Elite and our heavyweight featured attraction. Sanctioned by the California State Athletic Commission, the executive officer Armando Garcia, our physicians at ringside, doctors Paul Wallace, Danny Carusillo, Naresh Rao, Leandro Gatus, and Neil Frauworth. Timekeepers at the bell, Debbie Garcia and Mike North. And introducing to you our judges, all from California, Nelson Hamilton, Cecil Peoples, and Alejandro Rochin. Presenting now our third man in the ring, our referee in charge of the action, Steve Mazzagatti. All right, fans, here we go with our main event of the evening, a heavyweight special attraction scheduled 3 5-minute rounds. And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance and MMA fans joining us around the world, live from Los Angeles, it's showtime! Introducing to you first on my right, fighting out of the blue corner, standing 6 feet 1 inch, he weighed in at 255 pounds. Raised in the time-honored tradition of judo, his record stands at 2 wins, 5 losses, with 2 wins coming by way of submission. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the 1996 Olympic silver medalist in judo from Seoul, South Korea, known as Mr. Shark, introducing Min-soo Kim. And his opponent across the ring on my left, fighting out of the red corner, standing 6 feet 2 inches, he weighed in at 262 pounds. Specializing in the discipline of wrestling, tonight he makes his much anticipated MMA debut from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Here is the former NCAA heavyweight wrestling champion and 3-time WWE World Wrestling Champion, introducing Brock Lesnar. Once again, a referee in charge, Steve Mazzagatti.
All right, gentlemen, you know what you're here for. We want a good, clean, fair fight. You need to obey my commands at all times. Protect yourself at all times. Hook them up, gentlemen. Good luck.
Min-soo Kim, known as Mr. Shark. Is he being fed to the Sharks here tonight, Jay?
I certainly think he is being fed to the Sharks here. Brock Lesnar, I mean, you see how fast this guy's jumping up and down on his toes. For a man that size, you should not be able to move with that much agility.
I got to tell you, man, you can never say never for the Shark, but, man, he has absolutely no idea the strength, the power, and the ferocity of Brock Lesnar.
Main event of Dynamite USA is underway. Brock Lesnar Lesnar's much anticipated MMA debut against Min-soo Kim, and Lesnar secures the early takedown.
This is actually where Min-soo Kim wants to be. This is his only shot, really. He hoped to catch Lesnar or something. But
and Lesnar already unleashing a series of right hands. But you're right, but look at Lesnar smothering him. The NCAA heavyweight champion, Min-soo Kim, probably thinks the weight of the world is on him right now.
Right now, Brock has just got to breathe. Look how easily he's passing this guard, guys.
And he actually did, technically, he did it very well.
Yes,
also.
he did.
Still in half guard, however, and now he'll try to pull that right leg out, but he's content to just start pounding him underneath the arm, over top of the arm. Brock Lesnar definitely in his comfort zone here on the ground against Min-soo Kim.
Tell you what, though, guys, he looks like he's been professional wrestling for ages. He just can't get too high here. That's the one thing when you get them out, if you get too high.
Well, the one thing with Brock is, center of gravity, man. So he's been there for years. He's done stuff like that. So
Min-soo Kim trying to keep him at close quarter, but he's eating him. That's it. And Goldberg excited here at ringside. Brock Lesnar, debut a victorious one. Is he the next big thing in MMA? He makes short work of Min-soo Kim. Jay, what are your thoughts?
Mauro, you don't see a lot of guys tap from ground and pound, really give up from the ground and pound. You see guys, when you get knocked out down there, the referee stops it. The punishment that he was taking down there, I think the power, just the brute power of Brock Lesnar shows you how much different he could be than other heavyweights out there right now.
Billy has the notoriety, all the physical tools. Obviously a short test tonight, but what are your thoughts on your buddy's debut?
My thoughts is it's a great start. There's no question about it. He's got to get in there with a guy who can strike, who can submit, a guy who's got more skills than Kim. So we're going to see what happens. We're going to see what Brock thinks. We're going to see if he wants to fight again. After that, I think the answer is going to be yes.
A lot of nervous energy coursing through the veins, perhaps, but it didn't take him long to get comfortable, Jay.
You know what? I tell you what, he was more comfortable than I thought he'd be. He came out there more tame. I thought he was going to come out absolutely like a wildfire, like a wild man, and didn't.
Min-soo Kim having difficulty standing up, so just to give you an idea of how much punishment he was taking from those ham-like fists of Brock Lesnar, the ground and pound, and he definitely pounds out an impressive win.
Lesnar showed a lot of maturity in this fight for his first fight.
Here's a takedown. He catches the kick, and guess what? Brock takes him down, just like he's done everybody else in the University of Minnesota wrestling school. Here's a second look at the takedown. Yeah. Brock's in his element in there, guys. I got to be the first one to tell you. If you weren't impressed with what you just saw, then you're not either watching it or you're not breathing. And here's the tap out. What did he tap out from? Not a submission, not a slam. He tapped out from repeated punches to the side of his beam from a guy who's big, strong, and guess what, ladies and gentlemen? He just so happens to be a former professional wrestler.
Isn't that nice? There's
poetic
justice right there, isn't there?
All you naysayers, take that.
So Brock Lesnar records the win early in the first round. And now time will tell, where does his mixed martial arts career go from here? And it's good to see that Min-soo Kim is actually standing now and seems to have regained his faculties. He absorbed enough punishment, and this is the punishment we're talking about, Jay. Jay, of course,
well, since Jay took off, I'll take his spot. Well, I can't talk like Jay, but hey, anybody in that position getting pounded by a guy of Brock's size, strength, and aggression is going to tap out. I'm sorry.
Trying to spread the wealth,
Absolutely. I hear
but he's already on his way to the
you know what? I got to congratulate my boy.
Great job. All right, Jimmy Lennon Jr. is standing by with the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time of 1 minute 9 seconds in round number 1. The opponent taps out due to strikes. He is the winner in his MMA debut, Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
So there it is, Brock Lesnar's MMA debut lasts all of 1 minute and 9 seconds of one round, and Jay Glazer is standing by with Brock Lesnar.
Thanks, guys. Here with a victorious Brock Lesnar. Brock, very impressive win in your debut. How much different was this than any other athletic world that you've been in?
Well, all my preparation has been due to my amateur wrestling success. I got a great group of guys behind me. Marty Morgan, Jesse Wallace, Kurt Kozlowski, Greg Nelson. I want to thank everybody for coming. And it's fireworks.
I got to ask you this. You told us the other day, yeah, I'd have some nerves. I don't really know what to expect. Was it fun?
I can't hear you. I can't even hear you, man. Enjoy the fireworks.
What was it, when all said and done, come on over here, when all said and done, was it fun? Was it an enjoyable experience, something that you want to continue?
Absolutely. I enjoyed myself. I was disappointed I couldn't fight the big-headed guy, but maybe in the near future.
Tell me what you want to do next. Where do you want to go? Talk about your progression in the sport.
I have no idea. I want to keep fighting, and I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see what promoter wants to step up and hand out some money, and let's get some heavyweight titles on the line.
Brock Lesnar, congratulations. Very impressive debut, guys. Send it back to ringside. And Mauro and Bill.
Thanks a lot, Jay. Brock Lesnar definitely gracious in his victory. And again, just a minute and 9 seconds of the opening round. And yeah, he delivered the fireworks in that main event with some good old-fashioned ground and pound. And Dynamite USA in the books, capping off this evening of mixed martial arts excitement from the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. And here are tonight's results of Dynamite USA, the K1 debut in the United States of America. It started off Bernard Aka ruining Johnny Moore in the NFL veterans MMA debut, knocking him out in round one. We saw Mighty Mo TKO Ruben Warpath Villarreal in the opening round. Dong Sik Yoon in probably the fight of the night, submitting Melvin Manhoff in round two via armbar, with Hideo Tokoro beating Brad Pickett via submission in round number one. And then, yes, Royce Gracie avenging his defeat of 7 years ago, beating Kazushi Sakuraba via unanimous decision. And then in the main event, in his mixed martial arts debut, Brock Lesnar submits Min-soo Kim via verbal tap out due to strikes. Brock, Bill Goldberg, a great night of fights.
It was a wonderful night, man. It was an honor to be here. It was an honor to be here. The first time Brock Lesnar gets in the ring and gets to smash somebody. And people can obviously see the type of person and the type of athlete Brock is.
Final thoughts, Jay.
Guys, I know it's just one fight, but that's a man you're going to have to worry about. He came in very mature, didn't do anything really rookie mistake-wise. Very impressive. And one last note here, despite the fact that the crowd booed Kazushi Sakuraba and Royce Gracie, I'm honored to have worked a fight of two legends of the game again. That was Yankees, Red Sox, Fraser Ali.
All right, guys, good stuff. That will do it for Dynamite USA from the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. But we do invite you to join us on June 22nd at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific on Showtime pay-per-view as EliteXC and Strikeforce team up to bring you Frank Shamrock versus Phil Baroni in a much-anticipated grudge match. That big night of action will also feature MMA stars Crazy Horse Bennett, Joe Boxer, Joey Villasenor, and much, much more. Definitely a night of explosive MMA action you won't want to miss. Now for my broadcast partners, Jay Glazer and Bill Goldberg.